How's everybody doing today? Welcome, another beautiful hump day in the works. We talked about this on the podcast that we just recorded last night, so it won't be out for a bit. Or we recorded on Monday. Do we think hump is the straightest word? Alright, what are our thoughts on that? Guns are out today? Yeah, y'all mind if a white boy's got a little swag? Y'all mind? Check out this. Check out this. I mean, kind of a sick shirt. Yeah, I know women. I know humping can be gay. Do gay people say the word hump? I've never heard a queer person say, yeah, we were dry humping last night. I could be wrong. Feels like a very straight word. Humping is so straight, we got two ways to do it. Dry and wet. Have I heard straight people say that? Yes. Straight dudes talk about dry humping all the time. But constantly. Pump would be the gay version of hump. You're gonna start saying it to spite me? That's fine. It wasn't a spite. It was a question. It was a query. Oh. Is a query just a gay question? Frottage? I like the word frottage. I've never heard that word. I assume it's pronounced frottage and not frottage. It's pronounced frottage. Oh, okay. I don't like it then. I just assumed it was pronounced well. Is Christian alive? I was going to make a joke, but I can't do that. Yeah, he didn't stream last week because Erica's dad died. So that he couldn't stream last week. I will be streaming this week and next week. And then Christian will stream 2 weeks in a row. The issue is normally like back in the day, back when the judges weren't woke and they were ruined by woke. If Christian missed a stream or if I missed a stream, what we would do is just like we would just stream the next week, right? Like if Christian missed last week, we'd just be like, oh, Christian will just stream today. But now we record the Not Advice podcast on the same days that I stream to not mess up with their schedule, because otherwise, because Christian streams obviously every other Wednesday. And so because we're moving stuff around now, if Christian misses a week, unfortunately, it just ends up going to be him missing a week. But I've got a trip planned in 3 weeks, so he's going to stream 2 weeks in a row. So it'll all balance out. Oh, you don't want to be here for a Josh stream? I ask one question about humping, and you're like, when the fuck is Christian getting back? It's kind of fucked up. I open up asking with one little gay little query, and now all of a sudden I'm the bad guy, and y'all want to know when Baddie's home. It's kind of messed up. But yeah, that's why he didn't stream last week and will not be streaming next week. I'm the asshole. Oh, sure. Do you think I could fill in as a sub for the missing days? We could talk about that for sure. Someone say your name. Yeah, everybody said that they want you to stream and not me. Posting stream this week. Ooh, Zero Kitten. Are you the person who always yells at us? Yeah, I'll post the last streams right now. I was thinking about it if it makes you feel better. The entire time I wasn't posting it, I was like, I really should post those. Someone's gonna yell at me. Let's see here. Export. Export. There. Look at that. They're published as Twitch VODs and they're being exported to Judgy's VOD as we squeak. How about that? It's your post-work gaming nose. There you go. Josh is over here talking about humping. I asked if humping is the straightest word, and I didn't expect to get so much pushback. Humping is so straight that Mormons do it, folks. Humping is such a straight-coded thing that Mormons figured out a workaround. And there's no gay Mormons. Jason O'Brien executed 224 air humps in 1 minute.
My name is Jason O'Brien. We're going to set the world record for most.
All right, chat. Is this guy? Let's. One's in chat if we think this guy's straight. Two's if you think he's queer. I know what I'm typing. We'll run back the intro.
My name is Jason O'Brien. We're going to set the world record for most air humps. Brock Bugsby, I'm coming after you.
Go get him, Jay.
Under a minute. Got the timer?
All right. Hold on. All right, Jay, whenever you're ready. Hey, Mark, get set, hump. Feel the burn.
He's already
Work
like,
it.
I could beat this. God damn it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I should not be seeing the things that I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, he shouldn't be
This is
wearing
absolutely
boxers.
horrible.
Okay.
Now keep going.
We're getting a lot of movement in the groin area.
30 seconds, bro. I know. Sorry, 30 seconds now. Come on, she's really liking it. Come on, she doesn't want to stop. Or he. No offense to anyone.
Okay, they're woke. Or he, no offense.
Come on. Just feel it. Feel it. Alright, dude. 12 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, finish strong. 1.
Can I be open and honest for a second? I don't know if this is a safe space. This isn't. I'll preface by saying this isn't something I do on a daily basis. In fact, this is one of the only times I've done this in recent history. And it's completely apropos of the conversation we were having previously about humping being straight. I was air humping today. This morning, earlier today, I was air humping. And I fear that this guy, I was dancing. I was dancing. I was playing some songs. I was playing Magic by B.O.B. featuring Rivers Cuomo of Weezer fame. And I was trying to make my girlfriend giggle. And so I was air humping and dancing. I was not aware of the world record, but I probably beat it in my fucking free time. 10 by 7 sets of air humping Monday through Friday. Valid song to air hump. I mean, it's perfect. It really is. And then what other song? I was listening to I'm a Bee by the Black Eyed Peas. And I sort of got, you know the song, like, I'm a bee, right? And I sort of got like this motion going, you know, with the arm action. Like these are air hump songs, all right? Now I'm not gonna air hump for a minute straight. All I'm saying is if somebody like miraculously, if songs came on that maybe required air humping, maybe I would bust a couple out.
And I approve this message. I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns.
That's it. That's all you get. That's it. That's all you're getting. I don't want to get copyright striked for my air humps. But is that the song for Pitch Perfect? Yeah, I believe they do it in Pitch Perfect. Yeah, in the first Pitch Perfect movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Great song. Absolutely banger song. Unfortunately, B.O.B. is B.O.B.'s kind of got some fucking hits. When's the last time you heard Headband featuring 2 Chainz by B.O.B.? It's been a while for old Josh. But did you know Mustard was on this beat? This mic stand is just old, eh? Listen, this is DJ Mustard.
That's the one. Yeah.
Mustard was on this beat. And I don't want to say Mustard wasn't good back then, but this is nowhere near Kendrick's newest album in terms of quality. Mustard's always been on the beat, yeah. But Nothing On, I mean, come on. B.O.B.'s Nothing On You featuring Bruno Mars? That's a fucking banger. Great fucking song. So good. I feel like I remember this. What's this? How's this? Oh my God. This song is so good. Let's go back to this era of music. I don't remember these songs. There's Magic. Don't Let Me Fall. Holy shit, what a fucking...
Don't let me fall. I was shooting for stars.
Wow. It sucks that B.O.B. is a bad guy, huh? Yeah, that's a Bobby Roll song. So I was thinking, tell me if I'm off base with this. I feel like a Glee montage to Bob, B.O.B. would go crazy. I feel like B.O.B., I've learned, is like if you took Logic and the Black Eyed Peas and put them together. It's like if you had a worse Lupe Fiasco. It's like, hey, you know how Lupe Fiasco is actually fucking awesome and like has great politics and also makes good music? Now just make his music worse and like a way more diluted message, and then you have B.O.B. and it tracks because I fucking love the Black Eyed Peas, so it all tracks. But I think we've learned today, if I've learned anything, it's that B.O.B. has fucking bangers. I mean, okay, if for people who hadn't heard that, one's in chat if you enjoyed the song. Because, I mean, I did. Turn him into a flat... Yeah, if Lupe Fiasco was a flat earther. I mean, yeah, it was a good fucking song. That was a good... You know, it's funny, because I was listening to... Christian texted me, I assume this is about air humping, and said, you shouldn't be admitting this on stream. I think you should probably end the stream and delete all evidence. It's perfect radio music. And I've long held the opinion and voiced the opinion that this was like peak pop radio. Like peak pop radio was like 2010 to like 2014. Like, let me pull up the Spotify I was listening to earlier. Cause I put on Magic by B.O.B., right? And I was just, air humping to it as you do. And it just started playing music, from that era. And I mean, it's just fucking banger after banger. Like nonstop fucking bars. And it didn't even have anything by Fun. That's the crazy part. Okay. This is just Magic by B.O.B. featuring Rivers Cuomo song radio. Right? We Are Who We Are by Kesha. What the Hell by Avril Lavigne. We got Headband. I'm going to skip like songs I don't really think fit super great, even though they're good songs. Stay the Night was a great dubstep inclusion into the here. Anything by Fergie. Anything by Solo Fergie. Take It Off by Kesha. Like this is like peak Kesha. This is early Lady Gaga. So this is where you have like Disco Stick and Bad Romance. So it's before like Telephone, but Telephone is probably on the tail end of this era. We got Sean Kingston. We got Fire Burning by Sean Kingston. We got like end of Black Eyed Peas run, which was, in my opinion, still really good pop radio stuff. Teenage Dream, like early Katy Perry. We got Teenage Dream. And of course, we got the All American Rejects, but I don't really like the All American Rejects. And look, we got some Lupe Fiasco Lasers. Unironically, a fucking amazing album. Here's some Fun. Yeah, no, this is like peak pop radio. I don't think it can ever be beat. If you've never heard Lupe Fiasco, there's a song he did, and I used to love this song. It's, again, all from this same time. He has this song called Words I Never Said featuring Skylar Grey. Okay. And I used to listen to this song fucking non-stop in high school. There's a very high chance y'all have never heard this song. So that's the chorus and the hook, right? I'm going to read you the lyrics, okay? I popped this out at Friendsgiving karaoke on a whim. Hadn't heard the song in probably a decade plus. And I go, hey, I used to like this song. I'm just going to pop it on karaoke at Friendsgiving this past year and see what happens. I'm going to read you all the lyrics. I really think the war on terror is a bunch of bullshit. Just a poor excuse for you to use up all your bullets. How much money does it take to really make a full clip? 9/11 Building 7, did they really pull it? And a bunch of other cover-ups. Your child's future was the first to go with budget cuts. If you think that hurts, then wait, here comes the uppercut. The school was garbage in the first place. It's on the up and up. Keep it you bottom, but tease you with the upper crust. You get it? Then they move you so you never keep an up enough. If you turn on TV, all you see is a bunch of what the fucks. Dude is dating so-and-so, blabbering about such and such, and that ain't Jersey Shore. Homie, that's the news. And these the same people that's supposed to be telling us the truth. Limbaugh is a racist. Glenn Beck is a racist. Gaza Strip was getting bombed. Obama didn't say shit. That's why I ain't vote for him. Next one either. I'm a part of the problem. My problem is I'm peaceful, and I believe in the people. And it's like, what the fuck, Lupe Fiasco? And then you get into the second verse, and you are not observant, and you are not a Muslim. Israel, don't take my side, because look how far you've pushed them. Walk with me into the ghetto. This where all the kush went. Complain about the liquor store, but what you drinking liquor for? Complain about the gloom, but when you'd pick up a broom. Just listening to Pac ain't gonna make it stop. A rebel in your thoughts ain't gonna make it halt. If you don't become an actor, you'll never be a factor. Pills with a million side effects. Take them when the pain's felt. Wash them all down with diet soda. Killing off your brain cells. Okay, Lupe, maybe lay off the diet soda slander. Crooked banks around the world would gladly give a loan today, so if you ever miss a payment, they can take your home away. I mean, what the fuck, Lupe Fiasco? The dude's fucking cooking! And then the last verse. I think that all the silence is worse than all the violence. Fear is such a weak emotion, that's why I despise it. We scared of almost everything, afraid to even tell the truth. So scared of what you think of me, I'm scared of even telling you. Sometimes I'm like the only person I feel safe to tell it to. I'm locked inside a cell in me. I know that there's a jail in you. Consider this, you're bailing out. So take a breath and hail a few. My scream is finally getting free. My thoughts is finally yelling through. This is why you've probably never fucking heard of Lupe Fiasco. Because this song is literally him saying, like, I've been fucking trying to be like outspoken activist, but everybody keeps telling me I can't or else my career will die. And then he put this song out and nobody's ever heard of Lupe Fiasco in the year 2025. Yeah, he's like secretly awesome. He's a Chicago guy, I'm pretty sure. Now imagine if you were just chilling at a Friendsgiving and some asshole starts doing karaoke to the song. You vibing or not? Are you air humping secretly under the table in solidarity? You hear Lupe Fiasco, you hear Skylar Grey come on. Are we hitting like a little bit of just like... You give like a wink and a nod to the person singing. All right. We're here to kill some rats, folks. It's been a while since I've killed some rats. We can still talk about air humping while I kill rats, though. I think I'm a bad person. I think legally you have to air hump to Lupe Fiasco. Uh-oh, I'm rusty. You pretty sure your dog got stung by a bee today? Like in the mouth? Like did it bite a bee? Her eye was swollen. Oh no. Dogs are so funny, man. How offensive is it to gift someone a birthday present wrapped in Christmas paper in July? I don't think it's offensive. I've done the opposite. I've wrapped Christmas presents in birthday present wrapping paper. But what I would always do is if it said like happy birthday, I would put Jesus after it as like a sort of little joke. So I don't know if that's somehow an option for you to like somehow like do that. Yeah, I hope he's all right. I hope your dog is all right. You had to stop and just say you're living for these not advice episodes. Hell yeah. Yeah, it seems like people really enjoy it, so we're definitely happy for that. I think what it is partially because I was going through voicemails today to get ready for a recording we're doing tonight, and I think what it is like people are just so much more willing to like, I don't know, just like dump on the voicemail compared to like an email. I think people like the act of having to write in an email like is a barrier enough for a lot of people to like just be like, I don't want to like type it all out. Or I think Blake had a good point when I was talking to them earlier about it. People might type out an email and then at the end of the email just be like, oh, I'm just going to delete this. But people will like send in a voicemail and say some shit. And it's like, I can't believe you're saying this. This is crazy. And then we've had multiple people call back and be like, actually, don't use that story, actually. Which is fine, of course. But it's already happened more times probably through the voicemails than we've had in the history of emails that we've gotten for the judges, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I think it just like lends itself to having like kind of more interesting stories, at least, especially considering like the format's looser, right? Like in terms of submitting, like if you're writing like an "Am I the asshole?" or "Today I fucked up," it's like you feel like there's like almost like a rubric you have to follow, where you have to have like a well together thing, and at the end be like, "Am I the asshole for this?" or "Are they the asshole?" whatever. But like when you're asking, like the whole point of the not advice is literally like, just call in and say something, and if it's interesting, we'll talk about it. You know. Because like just since 2 Wednesdays ago, when I last did the voicemails, we got over 100 voicemails, which is crazy. So that's about 50 voicemails a week. That's about how many emails we were getting for the judges at our peak. So it's crazy that the show is so much smaller, and already so many more people are wanting to call in. Well, and it's the same rules as the judges, where it's like people are like, oh, I have a story, but I don't know like if I write it, if it'll like, you know, if you guys would want it. It's like, if we don't want it, like the worst thing that happens is we just don't read it, right? Like, what do I mean? It's smaller. I mean, the show is smaller. Judges will always be big in my heart. When we were peak judges, we were getting like probably about 3 to 4 times the listeners we were getting right now in a week. But also, and then also now, like the Not Advice has less listeners than the main feed episodes do. But like somebody left a voicemail being like, y'all still thank you. I mean, I'm just like, it's probably just people who don't like our show, and that's fine. They listened for a bit and then they're like, I don't like this, whatever. But Yeah, like if you leave a voicemail and it's not good, like the worst that happens is like we won't use it. You know what I mean? It's not like at most you're wasting like 3 to 5 minutes of my time, you know? Like it's not that big of a deal. We're currently in peak Judges era. I think so. I think we're making some pretty good content, if I do say so myself. Statistically, peak Judges era would have been episodes like 60, like late 60s maybe to like maybe like 110ish. That's when we were getting the most views on everything. You didn't like the tampon story, I guess, in the email? Well, okay, so, and that's the other thing, right? Is like, sometimes we'll get in emails, and even if it's a good story, glad I could be here at the peak. We're on the up and up again. We just hit 200,000 followers on Instagram. It was a huge week for the Judges. But you know, it's just like we only read, like, especially listener submissions for listener submitted emails, like true listener submitted stories. We only read, like, I read one listener submitted story on a main episode a week. And then on the bonus episodes we read like what, 5-ish? So there's also just a slim chance of like it ever getting there just because volume wise, you know, like, it's just, unfortunately, we do get a lot of emails. Why don't I have the runes for... Oh, High Elk is over here now. We're on the up and up again. Hamilton reference, yes. Have you guys have found Suggesting Up to Going? I've been listening since Oh Mama 1. Yeah, a lot of people really say like that's about where they started listening, which I think that's just where a lot of like long time people have been listening. Which is crazy to me because that episode is insane. It's like episode 12 or something. It's like super early on. My first episode, I generally thought Rick hated you until I understood the dynamics. Well, that's the thing, is Erica does hate me. 16. That makes sense. It was about 60, yeah. That's still when like our... Oh man, the setup was so bad. It was so janky. I kept seeing on Instagram and thinking it was hilarious, and I was finally like, okay, I need to check this out. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I think that's the main difference in terms of like how many people view our show, is when we were at our peak viewership in terms of like our main podcast listens and everything, that was back when TikTok, for us, we were getting like millions of views a week. Like we would post a video and like a bad video for our TikTok account would get like 90K views. Like we were for like 2-3 months, we were getting like, I don't know, I had it mathed out at one point. I think in like one month period, we had over 100 million views on TikTok. And back then, the conversion just helped a lot more too. I mean, obviously, the more people listen, or more people watch your TikToks, the more likely you're going to have people that decide to make that transition to go from socials to the main show, right? That's just common sense. You just have a higher conversion chance. And we just like, once we hit 1 million TikTok followers, which I believe happened at the end of season 2 of the Judges, around episode 104-ish, was right around where we hit 1 million, I believe. And I've talked about this on stream before. We just stopped getting TikTok followers. Our shit just stopped getting pushed. I think part of it is TikTok changing the way that they monetize shit, and therefore they didn't want to push our longer form content. And part of it's probably just, you know, natural, just people have seen enough of us. But we converted our TikTok strategy to be less of getting as many views on TikTok as we could, to out of the views that we do get on TikTok, we want to try to convert. And then it wasn't super working for us for a bit, which was fine. It was nice to take a break. There was a point to where we had so many fucking comments that I had to like try to like, you know, relatively manage, that when I was at work, I would just constantly be constantly be on my phone, monitoring like comment sections. And it was in an era of TikTok where they would just take down any fucking post and like strike your content in your channel if you had like too many swear words in it. And so it was so fucking annoying. So we just sort of stopped caring about it as much. And then we started posting on Instagram as a way to be like, on Instagram Reels, as a way sort of in the middle ground of like, okay, well, we're not going to get TikTok views. Maybe we'll get just Instagram views, right? And that so far has been our metric of like, in terms of like getting new listeners, I think has been the most important, is posting on Instagram Reels. Cause yeah, we went pretty quickly from, before we started posting Instagram Reels, we were at like 10K followers, I believe. And that was back when Christian would post a like poorly made Snapchat edit of the episode every week, saying, hey, go listen to it. And that's all people followed us on Instagram for, was for that stuff. And then we started posting Reels, and I think, yeah, I mean, like I said, we just hit 200,000 followers, which 200,000 on Instagram is massive. Like, it's so much harder to get Instagram followers than TikTok followers. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of people who follow us, like, we'll constantly get messages or comments on TikTok of like, oh my God, I literally haven't seen you guys post in months. And it's like, yeah, well, we're still posting every week, but it's all right. We still get a video every now and again on TikTok, do well. Like, you know, they'll pop off every now and again, but, you know, there's nothing you can really do about it. Which is why, like, now on our social media videos, we put at the end, like, just a straight call to action. Where it's just like, hey, if you like this, please go listen to the full show. Because so many people still don't know that we have a show. Which is insane to me, but what are you going to do? But it's all good. You know, I can't complain. We obviously have we're very fortunate to have our followers. How are you guys feeling about it? Is it hard or nice to have less pressure? It's a give and a take, for sure. That's true, Felicity. The TikTok landscape has changed entirely, for sure. Now, especially now that we sort of hit podcasting for us in like the perfect timing. I think if we would have started posting if we would have created our podcast and then started posting TikTok clips, literally like 6 months later, we would not have been able to catch the success that we did. We got very lucky in the time. And now, like, I mean, during COVID, it was like everybody's getting a podcast now, and that's when we started. But it felt like after COVID, everybody stopped doing their podcast, and now people are doing it again. And it feels like the podcast landscape is so fucking saturated now. And I feel like it's ironic because I think people have less time to watch podcasts now. Maybe that's more of a personal thing. But that's what it feels like just from like consuming content. It feels like so many people are just have a harder time finding the time to commit to like more than one or two podcasts. And so it's like, once you get your one podcast that you like, you're not looking for more podcasts. Especially, and probably what it is, and maybe now we're part of the problem, is so many podcasts do multiple episodes a week now. Right? Like if you were a fan of a show and now they're posting 5 episodes a week, whereas before they were only doing an hour a week. And so maybe before you would listen to 5 1-hour long podcasts. Now you're listening to one episode 5 times, right? Or one podcast, sorry. So I'm sure that's probably got to do with it. I don't know. It's all theories. Who knows? But that's why like our company was pushing us to make the second show. They were like, yeah, just you get more people listening to the same, the same feed, right? Maybe I'll start your podcast, lay you off. Hey, there's nothing wrong with starting podcasts. I mean, you'll get better at it as you go, Leaving H3 behind open a huge gap. Oh yeah, I mean for sure. I mean that's a perfect example of a show that like when H3 podcast first started in the late 2010s, like they did one show a week if I'm not mistaken, and then they moved when they had like at their peak, they were routinely doing 4 or 5 episodes a week. Now they do less, obviously, because they never show up on time. But yeah, that's one show that and they do 3 to 4 hour episodes, right? So you're consuming if you were an H3 fan 2 years ago, you were consuming 18 to like 21 hours of content a week of podcast content, which is different than like, if H Bomber Guy puts out a 10-hour video, because H Bomber Guy's 10-hour video is very, very well written, concise. Even I mean, it's kind of ironic to say concise about 10-hour video, but every single line is prepared and written versus a podcast format, which is especially a podcast as loose as the H3 podcast. Here's a clip. Let's have a couple comments on it. Any jokes? No? Okay, bye. Like here, like next topic. You're gonna need a 3-hour Judges episodes 4 times a week. Yeah, I don't think we would. I don't know if we're ever gonna get to that, but. We got 2 4-dose prayer potions. Those aren't bad drops from Scurious. We'll take those. We're getting some pretty good kill times. But that's why like like I started a second podcast, right? With Joseph Robert Dubé. I don't know if his middle name is Robert. And even just I mean, maybe you would be surprised, maybe you wouldn't. It's super hard to convert people like from one show. Even like I said, like the fact that our Not Advice show gets less views at all from our main show is wild, because you would just think everybody would be like, oh, it's in the same feed. It's right here. Like I'm getting the video. There's no music. It's probably just really quiet. Hang on. I turned it down because I didn't like the song that was playing. Where it's like you would think that Not Advice would just have the exact same metrics, but no, it's like it just people for whatever reason, whether it's the algorithm's fault, whether it's people's personal whatever, it's really hard to convert people and to get people to stick on it, because people only have a limited amount of time to consume things. So it's it's definitely a I mean, it depends on how much you believe in like competition breeds innovation and like creativity. Where it's like, yeah, you have to actively be competing with your content. Unless you fully have like a captive audience that will never leave you, right? Once you're as big as a really big podcast like Joe Rogan, for example, Joe Rogan doesn't need to be putting out the craziest episodes ever, because he's Joe Rogan, right? Like he's gonna maintain his audience, and new listeners are gonna check in on Joe Rogan just because it's Joe Rogan. Like he is the podcast guy. He's the first guy you think of when you think of podcasts, for a lot of people. So, but it's harder for smaller, because like smaller creators are always gonna have to be fighting for the thing, which breeds innovation and like whatever, but it also can lead to crazy burnout. You're curious why Not Advice is not getting the same listens because it's in the same RSS feed? Yeah, you would think, huh? I mean, part of it is probably just people not really understanding, or like not liking change, even like the fact that it's branded as a different show. I don't know. Eventually I'm sure it will. I think a lot of people probably just aren't even aware. Like we've had comments on, I believe, even on our Patreon, we're like, I've made posts on Patreon. We talk about it in the first episode saying like, this is a new weekly show. We had comments on the one that came out last week on episode 3 of Not Advice of someone being like, wow, we got this 3 weeks in a row. This is awesome. And it's like, yeah, you're going to get it for every week in a row. That's our plan. So yeah, I think, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing is, no matter how many times you post an announcement or say something on the show at all, there's going to be a certain amount of people who just straight up will never hear you say something. Which is, I guess understandable, but at the same time, it's like, it's just baffling as a content creator because it's like, we said this, like what's going on? I wish we had a 3rd episode a week. We do. Yeah. That's okay. It's hard making stuff sometimes because sometimes you make more content, you're also competing with yourself. That's also true. That's also very true. Yeah. Which is why, when I made the second podcast and obviously it ended, people asked me, like in my real life, like my parents or like whatever, just like people, they were like, so you're going to make another podcast? And my first response, I was like, no. Regardless of everything that happened with that one, I had a lot of good times with FridgePod. Talked to a lot of really cool people through FridgePod, or like through guests and stuff. But you're right. It's like we're competing with the judges, and we'll never be able to draw people entirely. And now, I'm actively cannibalizing because it's the exact same content, pretty much, right? Like, it fills up the podcast slot. Versus my Hash On videos, when I make a Hash On video, I'm not competing with people to view the judges. It's people, whether or not people are going to listen to it. It's people saying, oh, that's a YouTube video. That's different than, putting on the judges and listening to that. So I think it makes people more willing to listen to it or watch them. Plus, podcasting being a expected schedule is also a huge. It's just a huge undertaking in terms of if you make a content, people or a podcast, people expect the content weekly. And even if you make an announcement of hey, we're gonna miss a week, you're gonna get comments of people being like, what the hell? I pay these people good money to give me a weekly episode. Yeah. Now, we've never missed a week, but I've seen other people take breaks on their podcasts and get so much hate comments about it. It's it's just crazy. Oop. How many more until pet? One more. It's always the next one. How many kills am I at? I don't even know. I did some scurious kills offline. Not a ton. Well, I've killed. This will be my 10th kill on stream. I'll check once. Oh, it's down here. This is my 250th scurious kill. This current kill. And it's always 1 kill away is the thing. It's a 1 in 3,000 drop, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, we'll see if we get unlucky number 250. Nope. Unfortunate. Have you hit the over from when you... Oh, no. The over would be... I mean, it depends on how you define the over. So that was my 250th Scariest kill. It's a 1 in 3,000 drop chance. So if you're talking about going on rate, what a lot of people will describe as quote-unquote going on rate is when you hit that drop chance. Once I hit 3,000 kills, then people would be like, oh yeah, you're dry, right? But what was the number? I think so. If I want to calculate out like what it is when it's a coin flip, there's a number before 3,000 KC that is like, if you flip a coin, 50% of people would have gotten the pet. And that's probably kill like 2,000 and like, if I take a guess off the top of my head, like 2,600. So I'm nowhere near that. I need to do 10 times the amount of kills I've done. But as my account gets stronger and stronger, you know, kills go faster and faster. So, you know, it'll come eventually. And Scarious is one of the rarer pet drops, actually, because it's a tutorial boss. It's not a hard boss. It's meant to be like a beginner boss. So the 1 in 3,000 pet drop is because, like, once you're like max gear, you can kill Scarious probably like upwards of 25-30 times an hour. Like, you're pretty much your main rate limiter is his respawn time. Versus right now, I'm killing him at like 2 minutes a kill, roughly. So the most I could theoretically do is like 20 to 25, but that's without me banking. Like, I'm gonna have to bank here because my prayer is about to run out, and I'm not like super good at prayer flicking, and I don't want to use prayer potions in here. But yeah, I've seen YouTubers kill them like easily like 30-40 times an hour. So when you're getting 30-40 KC an hour, like, you can't have a super high drop rate for it, because then people will just all have it, you know? But that's the thing. The next kill could always be the one. That's the glory of RuneScape. And I wanted to get to 73 range, which I just hit, which is huge. My current like goal right now is to get all my skills to 73. Because that's the first 1 million experience in a skill on RuneScape, and to get to 99, you have to have 13 million experience in a skill. So I don't know, I like the idea of having all my skills having at least 1 million experience in them. So now that I'm at 73 range, I'll probably switch to my last like combat skill that I can train here to 73, which is my attack. I need to get to 73 attack, which I think it's at 70 right now. Nope, it's 71. So I'll probably switch to melee, and we can show off the fire cape that I got the last time I streamed and do some kills with that. I haven't done melee kills on Scarious in a long ass time. So that'll be fun. Yeah, my account's coming along. What's crazy is there's a non-zero chance, chat. And by non-zero, I mean like a pretty good chance that I'm about to start a second RuneScape account. And there's a smaller chance, but still a non-zero chance, that it will be for content. I might become a RuneScape YouTuber. But we'll see. That one I'm not committing as hard to, because it would pull even more time away from doing Hashan, which I don't want to do. But yeah. There's a new-ish... There's a video I saw of a guy doing an account that I really want to do. And I kind of was talking with a Judgy's podcast fan who won't leave me the frick alone. He keeps stalking me. And I was like, do you want to do it together? And we were kind of like potentially gonna start a group together to play this account type. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Did he also change his name to Josh? Yeah, can you imagine? He changed his name to Josh just to be more like me. Kind of fucked up. And his name is Horizontal Giraffe, which is an I don't know how we found out this information. This is some real like Nardwuar shit. My baby blanket had giraffes on it. So it's kind of fucked up if you really think about it. So yeah, we'll see. Y'all know if that happens. And if I'm making that for content, what I'll have to actually sit my white ass down and do is make a schedule, a work schedule. And if I'm doing a work schedule, I would schedule in stream times, which would be me playing the account on stream. That way it's like double dipping, but it wouldn't be this account. It would be it wouldn't be the Judgy's Twitch channel. It would be my Twitch channel. And so that way it's separate, but if for the one person in here who's like, I wish Josh streamed more. I didn't even know he could drop chaos streams. That's crazy. Yeah, I would be streaming it. And so I would need to make a schedule. That way I can do like an actual sit down, like these are the hours I'll be working on Hashan. These are the hours I'll be working on blah, blah, blah. What I should do is instead of running over here, I should just keep my RD cape in my inventory. That would save me time on banking. So I should do that. So yeah, if you're somewhat interested in that, then I'll probably do that. Yeah. RuneScape channel Throwback Thursday, absolutely. But I think it'll be fun. It's a really fun account where you just sort of like lock yourself behind collection log slots, and it just looks really fun to do. All right, we're gonna change to a melee setup. We killed him 13 times in about a half an hour. So you can already see with my like not very good gear, how quickly people could get kills if they had like really good gear, you know. Deposit all of this. I'm gonna do this and this. And I need my bone mace. Where's my bone mace at? Check the stats. Yeah, this looks right. Melee strength is plus 83. We're going crazy. Yeah, I think we just go back in now. Oh, I want my RD cape that I can just teleport out. Yeah, we'll do that. And we got the fire cape on. All right, we'll see. We'll do some melee kills. We'll see how the melee kills go. I had some pretty bad drops on those 13 kills, being for real. Only run one root item. We got 2 rune arrow drops, so which, you know, is good for sustain in there, but we want to see some bones. We want to see some curved spines. We want to see the pet, obviously, but whatever. You can't hope for the pet. Or you can't expect the pet. You can only hope for it. All right. Let's see what our max hit on. I'm curious. It's higher than a 26, which is crazy. It's higher than a 28. 30? 30's pretty good for a max hit. Oh, we're actually fucking shredding him. Oh my god. Keeps walking me into the... Getting 3 fire capes in the future? Wait, what's one up? Who's Ricky? What does that mean? I would be down for going for more fire capes for the pet. If I ever hit the scariest pet, I've already been thinking, like, what's the next thing I would stream on this account if I were to keep playing RuneScape on the Judges. I wouldn't mind going for, like, a Jad pet. Oh, Erica said she had 3 on the... Is that what she said on the podcast or something? But I was thinking, like, what pet I would go for. And it would definitely be a PVM pet. But how did that walk me into it, man? That's crazy. I'm thinking I maybe keep the bow on me. That way when we get to this stage, I can just swap the bow on and tag all the rats. All the little rats. I took a lot more damage just from getting walked into the falling debris. I'll have to get used to it once we have to get used to... Oh shit, I'm on the wrong attack style. But yeah, I don't know, because I'd want to do a boss content or something where it's like getting a chase item like a pet. I don't think I'd want to do like a skilling minigame pet, like a Temperos or something. Mainly because I already have 99 fishing and it feels stupid to go for a skilling pet. Although it would probably be the easiest. I don't know, I guess I could do it with chat, but this is if I ever get the scariest pet. I do not plan on pretty much doing anything in terms of like pet hunting on this account until I get scariest pet. I mean, my account currently has 0 pets, which isn't super uncommon or unlikely, you know, because pets are very rare, but at the same time, it's like I do have 2 99s, both in skills that I could have got a pet in. And I have 95 thieving. I still don't have the thieving pet. You know. It just would be nice is all. I'm due, that's right. I'm the most dry Iron Man account in RuneScape history. Get owned. Hey, we got a meeting. Oh, nice. This is the new update. Which is you can now get stackable clue scrolls. This is a new item. They just added this today. Normally I would get a clue scroll, but now I get a scroll box, which I can have 5 of, which is nice. I can stack them up a bit. Chad, I'm going on a bachelor party starting tomorrow. Thoughts on that? I mean, I know I talked about it on the show a little bit about getting called a lib. And so they're getting everybody ready to go golfing. And I think we got about 12 dudes on this trip, right? Absolutely nightmare blunt rotation. 12 dudes. I'm pretty sure it's 12 cis-het dudes. Cis-het straight dudes. I'm pretty sure. And we're all just gonna be talking about humping the entire time, right? Because that's how straight we all are. So they're getting these, you know, the guy doesn't have a best man, so he's just doing all the planning himself and everything. And so he's getting everything set up for the golfing that we're going to go do. And I have to assume Christian, out of like solidarity, didn't want me to be the only person who said no to golfing. And so Christian also said like he's not going to golf. He didn't big dog like me in the group chat. He sent it in a separate message, but whatever. And so instead, what we're going to do is do a ride along. So that we're just going to be riding along in a golf cart with other people who are golfing, right? And we just pay less money. I think, but like the golfing is only $18, which is like pretty fucking cheap for golfing, from what I understand. I don't know if we got a group rate or what, or if it's just a really shitty golf course. But at that point, I'm kind of like, well, I guess I would have just paid the $18 and just probably not golfed, you know? But I'm paying like $10 for like a ride-along fee to like effectively rent the, pay for a share of renting the golf cart. But the guy messages and is like, yeah, so the way they want us to set it up is we have this many people. We'll have 2 groups of 4 golfing and then 2 groups of 3 golfing. And those 2 groups of 3 will have Christian and Josh. Like they don't want us to have like 3 groups of 4 and 1 group of 2 plus 2 people riding along for whatever reason. I don't know why it matters. I don't know golf rules or etiquette or anything like that, but that's what they wanted. And now Christian's like, fuck, what if I'm on a golf cart with 3 people I don't know and or don't like, and now I'm just the asshole who's just sitting there not golfing. You don't know anybody, just talking about dry humping, you know what I mean? And so now we're worried we're both individually gonna have to big dog 3 separate dudes who we don't talk to that much / if ever. And these are the plights of the modern male. I would have been chill. I mean, I understand why I'm not, because it kind of defeats the whole purpose of, you know, a bachelor party, which is to have fun with the guy who's getting married. I would have been chill sitting at the home while they all golfed. Like, I'll just stay back in the rental. I'll stay back in the Verbo. But I totally get why. I mean, I also am down with just going, obviously, and drinking some beers on the links with the boys, you know? Having a mother effing beer. As Nathan Fielder would say. Just kicking back and having a mother effing beer. That's what I plan on doing. Is it weird? Chat, y'all can help me make this decision. I asked Christian, he seemed like he gave me a +1. He said, yeah, do this. Would it be weird if I brought Smirnoff Ices and started icing people on this trip? Is that too old of a thing to do? Join the stream to hear beer. Hell yeah, brother. That's all we talk about here. Wait, Chad, do we not know what icing somebody is with a Smirnoff Ice? So this is too old of a reference. You're too gay to know that? Probably. It was definitely it was a big like frat thing. Icing somebody is you put Smirnoff Ices in places around a house and or whatever, wherever the party is or whatever. And if you ever accidentally come across a Smirnoff Ice, no matter what you're doing, no matter what time of day, no matter whatever, you have to chug it. And it's called getting iced. And typically you get down on one knee and you chug the Smirnoff Ice. It's definitely, it was something that was huge in like 2012. It's called getting iced. Is that fun to do? To bring back? Are you in the Goon Cave right now? Am I in the Goon? What? Am I in the Goon Cave right now? What? I'm in the Judgy's Cave. Is that what you're asking me? Oh, you're talking about in RuneScape? I'm in the Rat Cave. What are you talking about? I know what a Goon Cave is. I just don't understand why I would be in it right now. Am I missing something? I know what a JO cave is. I got one. I'm just not in it right now. Am I streaming from the Goon Cave? Yeah, no, I'm not. That's why I'm confused. Is this on me or is this on you? This is where I don't know if I'm just being obtuse or if you're being obtuse. One of us is being obtuse right now. This is my place of work. Do you JO in your place of work? I guess that's why I'm confused. Is you pretty much just like went to a Walmart worker and were like, you jacking off in here or what? Apropos of nothing. So you have done that. Okay, so you're the one being obtuse then. That's not a me thing then. Because I'll admit, I've never seen that happen before. Currently, it's hump day. It's neither Monday nor Friday. On Fridays, I go to TGI Fridays and ask the waitresses if they want to fucking spank it in the back. Is that just what you're talking about? Ooh, about to hit 76 hit points. Huge for the account. Is Hooters my Goon Cave? I don't have a retail or chain restaurant establishment that I would use as a Goon Cave or have ever used as a Goon Cave. Is that a me thing? Is that what the kids are doing these days? Is Jang O in public places, in private establishments? Am I getting old now? All the kids are J&O at TJ Maxx? I think that might be where our male loneliness epidemic is coming from. If we can't even make it to a fucking Outback Steakhouse without jerking our shit in the bathroom. Oh, they do it in the parking lot? I mean, the smell of the asphalt would just ruin it for me, no? I mean, I don't need a romantic setup, but I gotta have more than hot tar. I'm not a man of many needs, but is this a result? Is this a result of Disney Pixar putting out cars and making them all hot? Is this like a direct one-to-one result? Do you think somebody should invent a term? Because you know there's you're not even jerking off to the hot car. Saying Lightning McQueen is the hot car to jerk off to in cars is like if you asked a guy who's pretending to be straight to name a hot woman and they're like, I don't know, Pamela Anderson, and you're like, oh, okay. I guess, yeah, but like what a weird, like that's like the easy answer, you know what I mean? Like it's a wrong answer. Wrong answer. There needs to be a term for like, there's like the Bechdel test, right? Where if a piece of media has a scene where two women talk about something other than a man, I think we need to have Bechdel, like some sort of a Bechdel test. Hey, we could call it the Ha-Shan test. Get two dudes in a conversation and see if they can not talk about jacking off online. I feel like every single conversation that has a guy in it is eventually going to talk about jerking their gherkin. And it's like, you know, we don't have to talk about it. Like, that's the thing. See, now you can't name it the goon test because you were failing the test as soon as you call it that. James Bechdel is not a... Fuck. Is Bechdel a man? Is Bechdel the person that named the test? The freak test? Yeah, there you go. People used to have enlightening conversations, man. Like, philosophers used to be born and bred every single day. And I feel like the modern day philosopher is like Jason the Ween. And instead of being like Kantian, he's Contentian. And they're like, wow, him getting stood up by that other content creator really makes a statement on politics. How's that for a Northern Lion attempt? My attempt at farming a clip like Northern Lion. Quick, somebody clip that and put gameplay of Elden Ring under it. And make me look really smart. And make me bald. That way people will know. Ooh, we're about to hit 76 hit points. See, nobody thought I could hit 76 hit points. Everyone's like, Josh, you're never going to hit 76 hit points. No one's ever done that before. Why is GTA in the corner? It's the music we're listening to. This is French House to Goose Off To by Dens 1000. It's an ADHD trap. And this person says that you can use his content on stream as long as you credit him. So that's what I did. I'm also secretly playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City with my feet. That's why it's in the corner. That's actually my gameplay. I'm actually doing it in a crazy impressive thing right now, which is playing RuneScape and Grand Theft Auto. Hey, 76 hit points. 94 combat. Woo! Silly Boy Friday came early, I see. Oh boy, here we go. What the hell is Silly Boy Friday? Is this another one thing one of y'all kids are talking about? You cannot be 13. Are you being for real? Are you being very for real right now? Okay, you were not 13. Okay. I'm bringing the old man vibes today. True. I'm old now. I just had my birthday. I'm old now. I'm officially old as hell. I'm officially probably too old for content. I'm retiring. Happy birthday. Thank you. Oh, Sergeant Car Battery. You're not 13. That was very clearly a joke. To say that you're 13 as a default number is very, like, my age coded. For whatever reason, I feel like everyone my age, like, younger millennials says, like, oh, fucking 13-year-olds. I don't know why the obsession with 13 is. I'd probably put you in your late 20s. If I had to take a guess. Like 27. Hey, but you act like a 13-year-old. Oh. Says me who's playing RuneScape. A game that was made in 2007. Or is based off of a game that was in 2007. You can't legally drive. But here's the crazy part is you can be 90 and not be able to legally drive. Like, that's the crazy part about driving. You're 79, that's what I thought. You were born in the 13th century. Oh man, this game that's playing right now, Jet Set Radio, that game fucking rocks. But real shit, I'm 13. Okay, man. I don't think you're 13. And that's okay. And if you are 13, here's the thing: is I'm gonna ban you. So you got about 10 seconds to tell me that you aren't actually 13. Or else I'm going to ban you and you can come back in 5 years. You're actually 14. All right, man. I'll see you later. Come back in 4 years. Sorry, bud. You can still watch, but I'm not going to... I don't want to have a conversation with a child. 07's the Sergeant Car Battery. 07's in chat. It's fun while it lasted. Especially about gooning, true. The thing is, I feel like I saw that. I've seen that person's name before. That's the main reason why I was even entertaining the conversation. I feel like they've been in here before. I assumed they were a Judges fan because I thought that was a listener. They have been. How about that? All right. We'll have to check the unban request form in 4 years from now. They found you during the Kunkin Minecraft stream? Really? So that makes that checks because I was like, I feel like that's an old name. I feel like they've been in here for a long ass time. They found us randomly through like searching for a Minecraft streamer, huh? Oh. Another thing to blame Kunkin for. I gotta heal. I gotta heal. I'm gonna die. Eat! Eat! I don't know why I wasn't eating. I almost died. That would have been embarrassing. Party! Woo! Why can't I? Why am I stuck partying? There you go. Get some more food. We'll open this up, that way I can get one more clue box, I guess. I wonder if it would be better for me to use these. Can't believe you have to work right now. Ew, gross. Let's do some DPS calcs real quick. Hang on. I want to see. Please censor work. Let me. I'm killing Scurious solo. And I just want to see what it would be like if I used my Sulfur Blades. Oh, wow. No, it's not even close, huh? It's not even close using my Sulfur Blades compared to the Bone Mace. But what if I pulled in, just to see what the Simi looks like with the... Oh, wow. Yeah, the Bone Mace average time to kill. Wait, so the Bone Mace average time to kill is 104.3, but I'm not killing him in 90 seconds. I think the move is going to be to use the bow and then switch to it and shoot all the small rats. That's going to be the strat. Oh, chat, you know what we can talk about is we can talk about Squid Game. Let's talk about Squid Game. So the new season came out, right? It's technically just the end of season. It's the second half of season 2. Right? Because season 2 was pretty much just split into 2 6-season episodes. And I've seen so much hate for this last season online. Okay? Like, from like subreddits of people who like kind of suck. I don't know. Whatever. It's not stuff that I've been looking at. I haven't been looking out like takes on Squid Game. But I just like Reddit just like serves them to me, right? And one of the main complaints. Oh. Did my camera overheat? What the heck? They're trying to shut me down. hope it didn't overheat. I didn't see an error message. It doesn't feel that hot. I'll have to keep an eye on that. That's a spade. 240 coins. Nice. So anyway. The last season of Squid Game came out, right? And one of the main criticisms I've seen of season 3 is that it was very predictable and like people saw the ending coming and like yada yada yada. I'm not gonna do any spoilers. I'm gonna do one spoiler, okay? And if you get offended by this spoiler, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not upset, or you shouldn't be upset, okay? So, when in Squid Game people are dead, they've shown us multiple times now. When people are dead, oh wait, it's not gonna let me show it because of the thing. I'll have to take a screenshot. Hang on, which is fine. I was only gonna show. Oh my god, it's not gonna let me do that either. How do I screenshot from Netflix? I want to show one still. I want to show one still through OBS. Oh yeah, Doi. Wait, no, OBS is censoring it. Take a picture with my phone? Oh, that's gonna ruin it. How the Windows screen grab? No, it's like blacking it out when I do it. They figured it out. Like when I go to print screen it, it blacks it out. That's kind of crazy. I'll take a picture and we'll do it. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Okay. Run it into a VCR and screen record. That true? Pardon the interruption. We're having trouble with your request. Oh, now they're kicking me off. They saw that I was trying to take a screenshot. All right, there's two screenshots. There's two. They're literally kicking me off Netflix. It's so stupid because it's like, if I see a moment in a show, I kind of want to screenshot it and show it to my friends, and you literally can't. It's so dumb. I fucking hate it so much. Okay, I think the scene is right around here, or the shot that I'm looking for. Okay, I found the second shot. Yeah, like even if you're watching it on your phone and you hit a screenshot, it'll like prevent you from taking a screenshot. So stupid. Okay. And I'm just gonna DM these to you, Blake, that way I can pull them up easy. All right. So there's a spoiler. If you really care about this spoiler for Squid Game, I think it really shouldn't bother you. It really shouldn't, because there has been so much foreshadowing for this thing to happen. And there's so much foreshadowing in this last season for this thing to happen. And what's driving me insane is that people are complaining that they figured out the one of the plot twists, but it's like, yeah, there was a million things foreshadowing it. That doesn't make it bad, like that they foreshadowed it. You know what I mean? So anyway, in Squid Game, in case you weren't aware, when people are dead and the workers have their bodies, they carry them around, or they'll have this black coffin with this pink bow on it, right? This iconography is used a ton. I mean, obviously the workers are wearing majority pink with the black details, like the black belt, the black guns and everything, black mask. The boxes are the opposite. It's all black with the pink ribbon on it, right? So This scene now, this is from the very first episode. They're carrying in a dead person from the end of season 2. Later in the same exact episode, they shoot over to Gi-hoon. He's lying up against a bunk bed. This is a really bad screenshot, Josh. And they've kind of like... Oh, it's because I didn't screen capture it right this time. There we go. So they show you this frame. And normally, if you're not aware, again, I guess I can show you... the tracksuits that they wear look like this. I mean, these are just costumes, but they give you the idea. So he's wearing a suit like this. Wide. It's green, white stripes, right? These are the colors. And in this scene, the way that they're hitting the pink light on him makes the white look pink and the tracksuit look black. And this is just a few scenes after we saw them carrying in a coffin, right? This is very clearly a little nod of like, hey, the main character who's been kind of trying to like the entire time be like, I don't care if I die, I want to do this thing. They're like, oh, he's going to die, right? This is in the very first episode. I noticed it. It's like 4 minutes into the first episode. And I pointed out to Aurora and I was like, oh, he's going to die. And she's like, how do you know? And I was like, I paused it. And I was like, look. And she's like, oh, yeah, sure, right? So one of the criticisms I see is that people figured out the end. And again, it's a spoiler, but it's also like, come on. We all know that the guy's going to die. They're like, oh yeah, we knew he was going to die. And it's like, yeah, he literally almost fucking kills himself in one of the episodes because he's so depressed. It's like, I don't know. The criticisms of it are crazy because, in my opinion, I think Squid Game's a really good show. And I think the reason why it's a good show is because it's not made for a Western audience. It's made for a Korean audience initially. And when you make a show for the Western audiences, I feel like, I don't know entirely why, companies feel like they have to really fucking dumb shit down now. But they do. And this is the end scene of Squid Game. And this makes me want to fucking end everything.
All right. Let's go again.
I guess I won't show anything else because this is a very end scene. This isn't a spoiler, but who she's looking at is kind of a spoiler. But they go to LA and they shoot the final scene, and it's Cate Blanchett doing the game with an American gambler. And it's like, oh, Squid Game America's coming. It's like, oh my fucking God. I just know Squid Game America is going to be, it's going to be the worst piece of media, I think, ever. Like, I think they might just do Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, have him do Squid Game. Like, I can only imagine it's going to be that dog shit. Because I don't think the original creator of Squid Game is going to be on it to, like, do anything anyway. People gotta know they can't get attached to their favorite characters, especially in Squid Game. I think it's good to get attached to characters in Squid Game. You're supposed to, right? Like, the show is designed to make you feel sad for the characters, and the show inherently doesn't work if you don't feel bad for the characters. But I don't think people criticizing, like, knowing that the person's gonna die is like because they are upset that their favorite character is dying. I think they are upset that I think this third season of Squid Games was a little more heavy-handed with their messaging than the first season was. And people are so conditioned to be like, oh, I found out the twist, therefore this is bad, instead of actually engaging with the media and like really trying to break down what the show is trying to tell you. Like, the show, season 3 of Squid Game was good, even though in the first episode I went, oh, he's gonna die. Because they told me. They told the viewers. They showed him in the black with the pink stripes. That is the show pretty much without directly saying, hey, this guy's gonna die, right? It was very clearly, like, if you're actually watching the show and like aren't on your phone or whatever, they linger on that shot for a while. It was a very clear like wink and a nod to be like, here's foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is good. Foreshadowing is what makes a story feel like it was earned and not just like skipped to, right? And I think there's been such a change in American media literacy and like critical thought that when people understand foreshadowing, they think that mean bad. Which is crazy to me because the most popular fucking movies in America are Marvel movies. And it's like, yeah, spoiler alert, the good guys win. But you still think the movie's good. Like, you don't go into a Batman movie going, boy, I bet Bane wins this one. You know Batman's gonna beat Bane's ass. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Oh, that's the thing. You know the American Squid Game is going to have dumbass fucking cameos, like actually putting Mr. Beast in it. You fucking know they're going to Game of Thrones that shit. And put, like, Ed Sheeran in it. That's why Infinity War was good. Right, I mean, I'm not even fully shitting on Marvel movies. You can watch a movie and know that, like I like Spider-Man movies. I know that Spider-Man's going to win. There's other things that I want out of a Spider-Man movie, right? But people like fucking freak out when it's like, yeah, there's foreshadowing and you're able to figure out the plot, but like Squid Game isn't really about who lives, who dies, who tells their story, right? It's about the messaging and like the socio like economic commentary. Like that's what Squid Game is about. Yes, you get connected to the characters and like feel for the characters and you want them to succeed or at least be happy or get what they want, right? But also like that's not the point of Squid Game. Squid Game isn't, oh, Gi-hoon good guy, Gi-hoon win game. Squid Game is people were forced to join this game out of desperation because of their monetary situations. And now they're finding a way to fight back against the game that they're in. And there's a lot of like political messaging on like democracy and what it truly means to be democratic and like, you know, what is freedom if you aren't actually free within the system. Like, and in season 3, they play a lot more with that. They play a lot more into the like, you know, I'm sure you've heard the phrase at some point of like, some people were just born on the wrong side of a border. And that means that their life sucks now. Like, people who live in Haiti have a demonstrably worse life than people who were born just 10 miles to the east in the Dominican Republic. And if you were born, you know, 50 miles to the north of the Dominican Republic in Florida, you would have a demonstrably better life. Like that person didn't choose to get born. And like Squid Games touches on this. But if you look at people who are like criticizing the show, they're just like, yeah, I knew that would happen. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't matter. Like, shut up. I mean, this has always been criticism of media where it's like, I'm a reality TV enjoyer. I last night, you know what a movie that I watched last night was? It was a movie called Let's Start a Cult, starring Stavros Halkias, right? And the premise of the movie was Stavros Halkias was just a fat, sex-addicted, food-eating guy who found his way into a suicide cult, and they all hated him so much they tried to do the suicide without him. And then the leader wimped out, And then, yes, Stavros is the main actor. The leader wimped out and didn't kill himself. The other members all killed themselves. And then Stavros finds out that the leader didn't kill himself, and then they go to start a new cult. That show that story doesn't have a deeper meaning. They're not trying to do social commentary. It was still a really enjoyable movie. So like not every piece of media needs to be like, oh, it needs to have social commentary on it, right? Like, and that's why I don't spend that much time shitting on Marvel movies. Because if people want to enjoy it, it's whatever. What drives me insane is when people act like movies like that are like, this needs to win the Oscar. Like Infinity War needs to win the Oscar. It's like, shut the fuck up. Please. Or like when people said that Poor Things was like, oh, it only won best, like Emma Stone only won best actress because of all the men in the Academy got to see her naked. And it's like, did you watch the movie? That movie is fucking awesome. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are we doing? Oh, is this about the actual Stavros? Pretty much. I mean, I'm sure he wrote a lot of his own. Ooh, we got a spine. We love to see that. First one of the day. But no, Let's Start a Cult was pretty fun. It's on Netflix, or it's on Hulu, I believe. We watched it on, but it was a good movie. So I don't know. It just drives me insane. Like, I think part of it, I mean, as this is true with anything, is like once you expand to a broad enough audience, you're gonna get people who just want to click onto a show and like see the good guys win. And I imagine that's what it is with Squid Game season 3. Is like people who really don't like obviously Squid Game is a massive IP. And somebody asked earlier, when did season 3 come out? Isn't that a crazy thing to even fucking ask? Like, not blaming you. Like, I said this when season 2 of Squid Game came out, which is like, Squid Game is a massive IP. Like, Netflix hit fucking gold when they funded the show. The issue is Squid Game is inherently an extremely anti-capitalist show. And so when Squid Game season 2 came out, Netflix didn't market it at all. And I imagine it's because they were like, fuck, like this show is like too anti-capitalist for us to like actually push. But then it got huge on TikTok. Season 2 got huge on TikTok because it was good. Like the characters were really good. And like it was setting up a really interesting story. And then they split it into 2 seasons, whatever. Season 3 came out June 27th. They did not market the release even a fucking little bit. Came out last Friday. It's crazy to me that they haven't talked about it at all. And I imagine just based off of the little bit of like people talking about it that I've seen already, it's not like season 3 isn't going to get the big like boost that like season 2 did off of social media, because I think the general population isn't really going to fuck heavy with the vibes of it. Because like story-wise, it wasn't like a revolutionary like thing of like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. It was very like, yes, we all see this coming, but let's think about it a little bit. So yeah, that's Squid Game rant for you. I liked it. It wasn't as good as season 1, and obviously it's when the guy made season 1, he didn't want to make any other seasons. Like he said, like, no, this was always meant to be a 1-season show. It just obviously got so popular that it was kind of like, you kind of got to make a season 2. And then, you know, it's obviously incredibly hard to end any story. But I think I really liked the ending for what it was, which is like the commentary on the things that they were trying to do commentary on. I liked it a lot. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the ending of Squid Game was optimistic, which, you know, we kind of need that. It kind of would have sucked if Squid Game ended and it was like, and all of this was for nothing and nobody, like, nothing happened. Loki hate when that happens when it's supposed to have only one season, but we got to add something. Yeah. Well, and I think that's why, like, British media reigns supreme a lot of the times when it comes to, like, IPs, where it's like British media will make 3 seasons of, like, the best show you've ever seen and be like, all right, that's good then. And, like, they'll just call it. Versus America, they're like, we have to make a 20-second season of Grey's Anatomy. This thing is a cash cow. And it's like, the show hasn't been good since season 6, man. The creator of Squid Games only made newer seasons to fund another project or something. I don't quite remember. I mean, listen, I get it. Like, listen, like, obviously he probably made an insane, like, generational amount of wealth just from the first season. But fuck, like, why wouldn't, like, as a creator, if you're still given creative liberty to make a show, and you weren't expecting to write the story a little bit further, why wouldn't you do a second season, then get out, right? Like, okay, I'll be able to say a couple more things, and then make, you know, generational wealth for my friends and all my friends and family. Like, they'll never have to, like, I can buy them so many cool things, and then I'm all right. And then, yeah, then I can go and make other projects, right? Like, I don't blame him for coming back for that season. And for what it's worth, I think he did a good job with touching on, even though it's all obviously the same vibes, like, you know, it's still, they're in the Squid Game. Like, he touches on more commentary issues, like social commentary issues that he didn't hit in season 1. So, like, you're still able to express that part. But yeah. I did think about starting Attack on Titan recently. Because I know, Blake, you've told me to watch it before as well. I don't know. I've heard so much bad things about the last season in terms of its, like, politics that it kind of, like, turned me off from getting into it. Pansy Mantis, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Whoops. You finally got in so you can shit on Marvel. Listen, like, it's like with anything, right? Like, especially when it comes to Marvel shit, where it's like, even like Disney adults, it's like, I don't care. Like what you like. I just hate when people get, like, really pretentious about it and try to sit here and pretend like Marvel movies are, like, the epitome of filmmaking, and it's just crazy. Like, people say that about Harry Potter, and it's like, I know Harry Potter has, like, a lot of emotional value to a lot of people. Not to me. I never have engaged in anything Harry Potter, except for when I was in 3rd grade. I tried to read the first book and I hated it. But people pretend like Harry Potter is like the best piece of like fiction ever written, and then you read it and it's like, oh, it's fine. Like, it's obviously it's popular for a reason, right? Like, people like it, but like, it's a kid's book. I don't know. Like, we can't pretend like J.K. Rowling's actually just like a fucking genius when like there are many other fantasy writers that do world building a million times better than she did. And like, I don't yuck people's yum when people say they like Harry Potter or whatever. I'm always like, okay, cool. Chill. You can, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, that movie sucks. That book sucks. Like, I don't give a shit. But when people pretend like Harry Potter is like the best thing ever written, I'm like, come on, right? Like, you being for real? Like, you genuinely think that? Have you read anything other than Harry Potter? Like, it's just fine. Like, one of my favorite books, like YA fantasy books, is a book called Heir Apparent. Okay? It's a fucking goated ass book. It's awesome. It's a future dystopian virtual reality book where a girl like goes on her birthday to go to like a VR gaming cafe, and she goes into a game called Heir Apparent, like HEIR apparent, and she gets trapped in the game, and if she doesn't beat the game, she dies because her brain is constantly being zapped. And while she's in the game, they're like, and we can't give you hints. I don't remember why. Story-wise, they couldn't really give her hints. And it's a fucking book. It's a great book. I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was the best thing ever fucking written. I love that book. I reread that book every like 3 or 4 years because it's awesome. You will never catch me being like, if you don't appreciate Heir Apparent, then you're not a real book reader. I feel like, I don't know, like the same thing with Marvel fans where they're like, Endgame was so good, and it's like, okay, didn't they undo most of the shit canonically? Like, they're like, I don't know, whatever. I don't really care that much. You think it's definitely nostalgia glasses, and like I said, like, especially with something like Harry Potter, people have an intense emotional connection to that series. Like, get this out of here. So yeah, that's definitely part of it. Harry Potter fans can't read. It's also like in 2025, still even holding any water for J.K. Rowling at all is kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are we doing, folks? Like, if you want to have an actual, like, separate the art from the artist moment, like, she's probably about where you get to, where it's like obviously the joke with Kanye was always like, he's far past the point. Like, if you're actually actively still listening to Kanye's music, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I think J.K. Rowling's like the perfect litmus test of like, no, you can't separate the art from the artist. Like, she is a vile person. I think Miss Rowling's action of Made It Fair game is one of those intense emotional connections, people that knew like every single fact about the book. And you know what? It's actually dog shit. Listen, I couldn't get into it. I in 3rd grade, I was given the first Harry Potter book to read, and I hated it. I think I got like halfway through it, and I hated it. And then I went to the library, and I got an Artemis Fowl book, and I said, this is my personality. And I became a huge Artemis Fowl fan. So I got lucky that I hated Harry Potter and I loved Artemis Fowl. Because from what I understand, Eoin Colfer is not as bad of a person as J.K. Rowling. I wonder is there a media that I would yuck their yum on? I'm trying to think. I mean, the obvious one would be like, because even like Rick and Morty, right? Like, I mean, who amongst us hasn't enjoyed Rick and Morty? You know, like seasons 1 and 2 of Rick and Morty, I remember really, really liking. But that's just an ultimate case of a fan base just becoming the worst. My camera went out again. Hang on, I'll have to fix my camera in a second. My camera is overheating. It's not even hot in my room. And I've streamed for longer than this since I've updated my camera setup. I've never heard of Earthsea. I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter as a kid because my parents were of the strict religious Christian variety, so when I did get to read it at 16, it was really special and a sign of some freedom. But now Rowling is being a horrible person. Yeah, like I said, I don't yuck people's yum for Harry Potter because I understand, like, as somebody who's super into Artemis Fowl, like, I'm sure if you go back and read those books, they're not that great. But I have it spot in my heart for it. All right, let's figure out something. Let's figure out a solution to this camera issue. It's the outfit, true. That's the thing is like it's not even like it's been hotter in my it's only like 84 out today. What's the temp like outside? That's 87, but it's been like like last time I streamed it was like 90 something outside. I gotta find my webcam. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where I put my webcam. This is messed up. What the heck? Series of Unfortunate Events probably my top childhood series. That's true. I love that. I love that book series. I never finished it as a kid, but I bought all of them when I was like 25 and I read them all and they were so good. Oh my god, my camera is super hot. Why is it so warm? You know what? Maybe I'll I recorded Glee on this time. Like that's why I'm confused. I ran my Glee recording for like hours and it never overheated. Hang on, let me mess with some settings. Menu. Hang on. 4K output select. Maybe if I put it down to 24p instead of 30p. Oh, but now I have to resource it. Wait, no, there we go. Let's see if that doesn't overheat now. How much worse is the quality? Oh, that's not too bad. I guess I may as well go refill my prayer and stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like an IP where if somebody was like, I really like it, I would make fun of them. Like straight up, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? And nothing's really coming to mind. Like nothing's top of mind here. Warrior Cats? I mean, I do yell about White Lotus a ton, but I could see the appeal. How many kills are we at? 30? Alright, let's see if we can get at least to 40. I can't really think of it. Oh, you know what? If somebody said they were really into Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty is probably an IP where I'd be like, are you, like, in 2025, you're, like, really into Call of Duty. Like, that's pretty insane. I can't think of any TV shows off rip, though, where I'm like, really? Because so much of, like, TV shows or movies is, like, everything has a value to it, right? As I've said, like, I enjoy reality TV from time to time. Because they get the appeal. It's turn your brain off. Haha, look at these idiots, right? And video games are that way, too. But there's just so many better Call of Duties than Call of Duty, you know? Like, in the year 2025, why the fuck would you ever play Call of Duty when Fortnite exists? I get they're not exactly the same, but if you want the competitive aspects of Call of Duty, why wouldn't you play Valorant or Rainbow Six Siege? Like, there's other games in that genre that are just better made. My Fall of the House of Usher rant really rubs people the wrong way. They really think that I don't know good media when I talk bad about that show. I do dislike that show a lot. I kind of want to rewatch it to see like if I was right. But it's so bad. If you use the website Filmot, like Filmot, and then search the Judges podcast YouTube channel for the word Usher, I bet you could find it pretty quickly. It would have been about when it came out, though. Probably like a month, like within a couple episodes of whenever the show came out. But you know what's crazy about that show? You didn't find the full rant. Maybe it was on a bonus episode or something. I don't know. Or maybe it was on a stream. I don't know. But what's funny about that show is it's made by the same guy who made the Haunting series. Like The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor. He did the one where they were all on the island, and then he did that show. And what's really funny is Haunting of Hill House, really good show. I watched the order I watched these shows in is I watched Haunting of Bly Manor, and I thought, man, that show wasn't very good. And I will frequently talk shit about horror movies, horror genre things. And of course people will be like, well, it's because you don't like horror. And it's like, no, I'm criticizing the story and the plot and like all that stuff. I'm not criticizing the fact that I got scared. You know what I mean? And so I watched Bly Manor, and people were like, you gotta watch Hill House, it's so good. And then I watched Hill House, and I was like, oh, Hill House is really fucking good. This is really good. And then it was like pretty well known online that Haunting... Oh my god, I can't believe it did that again. That Haunting of Bly Manor was bad. And that Haunting of Hill House was really good. And now people are going back and saying that Haunting of Bly Manor is actually secretly really good. And it's like, come on, folks. We all knew... 2 years ago, we all knew it was bad. And now we're all like, actually, secretly, it was pretty good the whole time. And it's like, is that because he made one more thing that's somehow worse than it? And so in comparison, it's not as bad anymore? Hill House is the best horror I've ever seen. I'm trying to think. That's probably accurate for me. That's probably going to be accurate for me until I watch Sinners. I'm not watching Sinners until the fall. I'm sorry. I refuse to watch a vampire movie in the summer. But I'm really excited to watch Sinners. But I know it's supposed to be really fucking good. I thought I was so right about liking it, and everyone else I showed you said it sucked. Hill House or Bly Manor? The thing about Bly Manor is like... Did somebody already say this about Bly Manor, where they do the... No, you said it about House of Usher, where it's like there's just so much outright exposition, and it's like, oh my god, like just show us, don't tell us, you know. I never watched Saltburn. Aurora watched it without me. You know, it's a good... I mean, you know what? And honestly, I'm going to take back what I said, which is that Hill House is the best. I unironically, like, not a meme or, like, whatever. I loved the movie Get Out. I thought Get Out was so fucking good. I saw it in theaters, and it was amazing. Sinners is good for summer, though, because it's set in Mississippi in the heat. Yeah, the only misses piss who I sip. Yeah, I'm still gonna wait to watch the vampire movie until the fall. That's my opinion. I loved Get Out though. It's just a really good combination of good plot, good politics, good scoring, good scene direction, great acting. Good. It has the good twist with the foreshadowing there. If you catch on to it, like it's a good fucking movie. I didn't like Us as much. I thought Us was just okay. I never watched Nope. I still gotta watch Nope. Yep. Jeez, I got a lot of Rune Arrow drops today. Which is fine. Saves me some money for buying my Rune Arrows. Looking forward to my thoughts on Sinners. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'll have to let you all know. You know what's a good movie is Friendship. That was like a... It wasn't like a truth horror, obviously, because it's Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. But... it's like a suspense movie. And you know what's crazy is like, I mean, I haven't looked up a ton of what people thought about it other than people saying it was really funny because it is. It's like, I think it's got a layer of like storytelling in it that nobody really talks about, which is kind of crazy. Like the movie revolves around Tim Robinson's character just being an insane person. Like just an absolutely like sociopathic person. And there's a lot of plot points in it where you're like, if you're just viewing it and taking it at face value, it's kind of like, that doesn't make any sense. But if you watch it from the framework of Tim Robinson, or the movie being told from Tim Robinson's character's point of view, and he's an unreliable narrator, the movie makes so much more sense in the like, oh, that's why he says this, or that's why this happens this way. And I don't see a lot of people talk about it online. I saw people talking about the movie in the I Think You Should Leave comment section on Reddit, and I actually, or subreddit. And I actually left a comment in there someone being like, I didn't get this scene. Like, why would he say this? This, like, the movie was good, but there's so many moments that were like this. And I left my theory of like, oh, it's because it's an unreliable narrator, and that's why this happens in this scene, and that's why he says this here. And I don't think people really agreed with me, which is kind of crazy because it's just one of those moments where it's like they didn't outright tell you that it was an unreliable narrator, and I think a lot of people just like, I don't think people went into the movie ready to engage with a movie that was really trying to make you think. Ashan Friendship Wed. It is a good movie. I would definitely want to watch it again when it comes to streaming service that I can steal it from or something. Allegedly. You'll yuck the yum of I Think You Should Leave. Well, then you're not going to like Friendship because it's pretty much just one really long... it's like if you followed an I Think You Should Leave character home with a little bit of like a suspense thriller on top of it. I get it, but like, okay, so here's the thing. As a fan of I Think You Should Leave, I get it. I get why people don't like it. One, it's sketch comedy, and a lot of people just really don't enjoy. Like, sketch comedy is so hit or miss. And I think there's a layer to I Think You Should Leave that if you're not willing to engage with it in this aspect, then you kind of miss a part of it. And I think a lot of people's criticisms of whenever the people that I talk to who don't like I Think You Should Leave it's typically like, yeah, I don't know, it's just a lot of screaming, or it's like, oh yeah, well they do a lot of potty humor or like vulgar humor. And so like I know someone who was talking about it, and they're like, yeah, like the scene, like the sketch that they did where it was the ghost tour, like the joke was just that he was yelling come, and I like about had an we were actually at a not an Outback Steakhouse. We were at a, what's the place with the rolls, with the really good rolls, the cinnamon butter rolls? We were at that steakhouse. Was that Outback? Am I going crazy? Texas Roadhouse. Thank you. We were at a Texas Roadhouse, and I was like about to fight the person, being like, what do you mean? That sketch just isn't haha come. And I was like, you didn't understand the sketch then. And I was like trying to explain the sketch, and I had to stop myself. Because again, it's like some people just don't like sketch comedy, and like that's fine. You know? Like that's fine. You're wrong. Sketch comedy is awesome, but like especially I think that's like the ghost busting out of the walls and shooting out big old horse cock, you know, like that. Like obviously there's humor in the words he's saying, and like, oh well, big fat load of cum then, right? Like, but the sketch itself shows a character who is like oppressed at home, and this is the only time he gets to go out and not be like being watched by his mom, and he gets to go out and thinks he's having fun and making friends and like being able to swear, and it's not against the rules anymore. And then him being upset because, well, you said that the rules were this, and so you taking back the rules is like messed up because this is the one night a week that he gets to go out and say these bad words. And so like there's a whole entire level to that sketch. There are other sketches that are just kind of potty humor, and that's okay. But I just, that one specifically is a really bad one for that person to be like, yeah, I just don't like that the joke is potty humor and that he's yelling. And it's like, yeah, but there's a second and third layer to that sketch that you didn't pick up on because you You didn't like the potty humor. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, and that's a thing that like people just can't get. Like some people don't like cringe. And obviously I think you should leave thrives on creating an extremely cringy atmosphere for the character to exist in. Blake, are you sure that's the final sketch of the season? I thought that was in episode 1. I could be mistaken. But you know, like that same person who didn't like I Think You Should Leave, we were telling them like, oh, you gotta like, we were telling the person they're dating. Blake, Big Fat Load of Cum Ghost Sketch is season 2? I don't mean to check your I Think You Should Leave credentials at the door, but I'm 90% sure that was season 1, episode 2. Unless I'm mixing it up with another sketch in my head slot. No, you're right. That is season 2. Nope, that's season 2. But we were telling that same person to watch The Rehearsal because The Rehearsal season 2 was like, it's like peak cinema TV. Like, I think season 1 of The Rehearsal was amazing. Like, we went back and rewatched it. It's the end of episode 1, right? That's what I remembered. Was that it was at the end of an episode. But we told them to watch The Rehearsal season 2, and the same person was like, "Yeah, we just couldn't make it through it." And I was like, "I mean, that makes sense. You didn't like I Think You Should Leave." And so much of The Rehearsal is like, here's people put in awkward situations, and you just sort of put a camera on them and being like, "Thoughts? You gonna say something funny?" Or and it's awesome. It's really great TV. But if you don't like sitting in awkward silences, it's not the show for you. That's kind of what he builds his entire show on. For a reason you don't like The Office as well. I've never watched The Office, so I can't. My wife won't watch VP or anything like that because she hates cringe, but she rewatches teen Disney shows all the time, and they're like 80% cringe, and MC's just being fed people. Wait, VP as in like Veep? What's VP? Am I missing an obvious acronym? Well, that's the thing, is there's like different levels of cringe, right? The TV show Veep. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought you were talking about. There's different levels of cringe that like people will be like, you know, willing to sit through. And yeah, like if you watch, hell, like most of the enjoyment of reality TV dating shows is sitting in cringe, and like the guys, you know, whatever, being cringe, or the women being cringe, yada yada. It's just a different form of cringe, and some people will enjoy that, but not enjoy sketch comedy cringe or whatever. Oh, I thought he died. I thought we hit him. There we go. Take my chaos runes and my big bones. How many kills are we at now? 37? Hell yeah. I did start streaming a little bit later than normal today. Unfortunately. Had to go help my brother on a job. I help him with like 3 jobs a year. And it's normally when there's like something really big or heavy, or like there's a shit ton of furniture, like a lot of really big items. And this one I went over to, and all we had to move was one item. And I was there for like an hour and a half probably trying to move it. It was in their basement, which automatically, you know, sucks, because that means you have to go upstairs and it was he called it a lead trap. It's a full steel lead trap. And I don't know if we have anybody in chat who knows what a lead trap is based off name alone. But when I hear lead trap, my thought is something to do with like filtering water. Hey girl, it's your lucky day. I'm 5'3" tall, but I'm 430 pounds of pure muscle. I could be a real life warrior, and I'm into feet. I have no job, but I'm looking to be your knight in shimmering armor. And I've never been circumcised, so it's your choice. Interesting. I'm just gonna keep talking about my thing. So I don't know if anybody knows what a lead trap is. But it's for when you shoot, you put a target in it. And it's this incredibly heavy, thick sheets of steel plates. And so when you shoot at your target, and either you miss or it goes through your target, whatever, when you shoot at it, the bullet, like, doesn't go everywhere once you hit the target. It hits the metal, and then it stays inside the trap. Right? They had it in their basement, and they were using it in their basement. And so then, once I figured out what it was, I was like, why is this in their basement? Why were they shooting a gun inside their house? But apparently it wasn't. They weren't using it for bullets. They were using it for a bow and arrow, which makes more sense. It was a nice. I mean, it was a newer house, newer build, probably like 90s or 2000s. Pretty big basement. It was a nice house. So totally made sense once we realized it wasn't for guns, because shooting a gun inside your house, kind of insane. But this thing alone, I shit you not, if I had to take a guess, weighed 1,600 pounds. Just a rough estimate. Definitely the weight of a car. It was heavy. And so we obviously had to take it apart. But the one piece on top went all the way from the top all the way down to the back. And it was on cinder blocks. It was on like three cinder blocks stacked up. And it was designed to be moved up with a forklift. They clearly didn't put it down there with a forklift because it was in a basement. But whoever they bought it from moved it with a forklift. That's for damn sure. So we had to get the top off. But the top piece alone probably weighed a good 450, 500 pounds. Because it's just about a 1/4 inch sheet of steel. That was probably, I don't know, 8 foot in length. And like 3 to 3.5 feet wide. And so we had to try to figure out how to get the top off without killing ourselves. And we figured it out. It took some, thinking. So we got the top off, then took it up in pieces. And the people who lived there were like these old people. And we just assumed they were like trying to sell it. Like, oh yeah, we don't use our thing anymore. We're going to go sell it. Because this thing probably cost a lot of money to make and or buy. I don't know if they made it or if they bought it. But it's a lot of metal, and it's custom built, and it's welded, and it was a pretty, pretty big thing. And yeah, it took us about an hour to get up the stairs through figuring out, making a game plan, taking it up piece by piece. And yeah, that's what I was doing. That's why I was a little late to stream today. About an hour late. That's a fun little job. Definitely broke a sweat. I could probably pull up my my heart rate while I was doing it. My heart was going crazy. Luckily, it wasn't too hot out today, and they had their air on in the house. But your boy got his heart rate up. That's for damn sure. And they were like, they were like making jokes, and I think they were like So it depends. Like sometimes you go to do a job and people will be like, there's like two types of people. It's people who are like kind of pissed that they have to pay you money to move this thing. And then there are people who like feel bad for only paying you a little bit of money to move these things. And they were definitely in that camp. Everybody remember to hydrate. Thank you, Super Mistaken. And so they were kind of like standing there watching. Or, you know, making comments of like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you guys do this. And, oh, that's so heavy. Like, oh my gosh, my back hurts just from watching you move that. Like all those comments, you know. And I like made I made like a comment like, yeah, I only do this like 3 times a year. Like I got unlucky. Like this is one of the jobs that he had to call me for. And they're like, oh, this has to be like one of your worst jobs ever. And I was like, nope, I would much rather move this sheet of 450-pound metal upstairs while it's 90 to 85 degrees out than go clean out a hoarder house that's like 2 feet of garbage and like dirty diapers and roaches everywhere. I would much rather just use my muscles than go and be in a biohazard situation, because that's unfortunately a lot of the jobs that my brother does. Yeah, he does a lot of jobs that are just very like, you know, it's just sad to see what people are, you know, what depression does to a motherfucker. There was one that I helped him with, this was like probably 2.5 years ago. And this woman worked for a video gaming like company, like one of the biggest ones in the area. And if you know anything about Illinois, it's that every single fucking gas station, like 50% of the restaurants in rural Illinois now has video poker in them. It's an insane fucking industry that has just popped the fuck off in the past like 10, 15 years. Where people just go and spend all of their money fucking gambling, pushing the button on the screen. And so this lady worked as like a sales rep for that company. And so she made good fucking money. Like she was talking about like, and so she had like a good job, you know, well-paying job. Seemed like she was a perfectly normal person. And the job that we were doing for her was to clean out her house. And she had 2 or 3 dogs and like 2 cats. And her house was just like, it wasn't a super big house. It was probably like 1,100 square feet. Like a single story. About a foot of just old newspapers, just like random papers, empty bottles. All of it covered in cat and dog piss. Every single fucking thing just soaked in dog piss and cat piss. And she was just talking to us the whole time. Just like a norm, like, you know, whatever. Like, for me personally, if I had a house that bad, I mean, you know, I'm not criticizing her, you know, very clear bout of mental illness. I would be pretty embarrassed though. And I don't know if I would like show my face that much while they were cleaning it. But she was just in there talking to us the whole time. And she was just like, yep, I was married and then I got divorced. And then for about 1.5 years, I just kept doing this. And then I went to therapy and it fixed it. And it's like, oh, like, well, that's good. That's good. That's crazy. Like she was just a normal person, well, good paying job, marriage. And then, she got her husband got a divorce and, yeah, she just lived in dog piss and cat piss for 1 year, I guess. And we're like, all right, good on you for, yeah, getting the help you needed and everything. Because unfortunately, I've seen the other side of that where people never get the help they need. And a lot of times it's because they can't really afford it, right? Like, she was in a place, I guess, where she could afford it and everything. That's crazy though. Like she's probably only like 45. A normal person. I haven't cleaned a room, like a bathroom, where the toilet was unusable, but I've been in a house like that. I just didn't get to the bathroom. That was I said, nope, I'm not coming back. I did the one day, cleaned up like half the house. Scurrious's spine. Spine number 2. Thank you. I'll do one more kill here, because we're running a little low on prayer anyway. Check DMs for video. Oh yeah, we'll play that. And then, oh yeah, we got a big surprise. Big surprise for the Hashan heads out there for the Glee video. That is coming out hopefully by the end of July. It's taken a long time, but it's getting there. I think it's probably, I don't know, I think I wrote just like a ton of really cool fun bits in it that just take a long time too, but it is a labor of love. I know someone who's a holder, not to that stage yet, but she doesn't believe in therapy or mental health disorders. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like, again, like a lot of it is just they don't have the funds, and it's like, it's easier to convince yourself that it's not real than it is to like, be like, oh yeah, I have to pay all this money that I don't have to fix it. Otherwise I'm fucked, you know? I'm not even saying for you, Blake, too. It was just for me. Getting it out on my end took so long. Well, and then even once you get it done, I have to spend, you know, a week minimum waiting for it to clear copyright checks and everything. Not only that, but it's acknowledging that it's just mental work you had to put in. Yep, that's true. Yeah, it just seems insurmountable. Yep. And that's why I just simply don't have mental health issues, personally. I just choose not to. Personally, it's just easier. I don't know why people would choose to do that. This arm is just cooked. We got to get a new arm. And by we, I mean me. Speaking French. I did retire. People will be sad to know. I did retire my homemade green screen. I will be buying a real green screen. Mainly because it just took up too much room. But I put it in the guest room because it was just a clothes rack, so I put it in the guest room. So it's still with us, but not as a green screen. I'm gonna get you a new PD gift account. No. Wait, you're gonna have him bring in a green screen? Yeah, another prayer potion. How about that? How many kills are we at? 42. Ugh, do I have another 8 in me? Nah, I think we're gonna call it. Pretty good rate though. I mean, 2 spines. 2 spines in 42 kills is still technically above rate. They're 1 in 33 drop rates. What I stream for, I've been streaming for under 3 hours. I probably only played RuneScape for about 2 of those hours because we talked about BOB for so long. So 21 kills an hour. That's not terrible. Made about got 200k GP. I got 2 clue scrolls. That's not bad at all. Put that right into prayer. We got halfway. I can pull this out. Halfway to 73 attack, which is huge. We got our 73 range. We got 76 HP. How much experience did we gain? 54,000 HP, 60,000 ranged, 100,000 attack. That's crazy. Oh, but wait, don't. You have to go. No, but you're gonna miss the. You're gonna miss the fun, the Hashan portion of the stream. It's only gonna take a minute. You don't have to go right now, do ya? I convinced you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Blake, this isn't even the Hashan part. Philosophers used to be born every single day. And I feel like the modern day philosopher is like Jason the Ween. And his, instead of being like Kantian, he's Contentian. And they're like, wow, him getting stood up by that other content creator really makes a statement on politics. How's that for a Northern Lion attempt? My attempt at farming a clip like Northern Lion. Quick, somebody clip that and put gameplay of Elden Ring under it and make me look really smart. That's actually really good. I'm going to show the Hashan clip. Okay. This is not the final. This is not final, folks, but this is a masterpiece. I'll tell you what. This is a clip from the upcoming Glee video. And it's me acting out Glee fan fiction. And it's this is our pièce de résistance. Like, this is our Mona Lisa, and this is the beta. This is the beta of the Hashan Mona Lisa. Tomorrow, the school will start again after the summer break. It was Sunday evening, and Will laid in his bed with his arms around Emma, his wife, who laid closely next to him with her head on his chest. They watched the news together. Emma? Will said. Yes, honey? He turned around to look at her. I thought about starting Glee again, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea. He smiled. What does my guidance counselor thinks? She thinks that you should really try it. She smiled too. But what if no one wants to join? Or Sue starts to stress again? Or what if... Hey, don't worry. You can do this. I believe in you. Emma turned around and kissed his forehead. Will smiled again. Thank you. For what? Emma said, confused. For everything. I love you, Em. Will smiled and kissed her back. I love you too, she said before cuddling into him. After a while, they were stuck in kissing and cuddling that they didn't even notice how Grace, their daughter, entered their room. The 6-year-old girl climbed on her parents' bed and smiled at seeing her parents so in love. Hey, what's up, Pumpkin? Emma asked, smiling to see her girl. Grace was close to cry. I can't find Patches. I searched everywhere, but I can't find him and I have no idea where he could be. She started to cry. Oh, don't cry, Gracie. We'll find your teddy bear. I promise, Will said while pulling Grace into his arms and wiping away her tears, which rolled down at her cheek. So, come on, Grace. Let's go start searching. Will got up. He picked up his daughter and pulled her into his arms. Emma wanted to get up too, but Will stopped her. Lay down, Em. I search it with her alone. You need to take rest. She laid back down and he kissed her forehead before getting out of room. Will took his car key and went out of the house. He went to the garage and unlocked his car. He opened the door and looked at Grace's booster seat. Patches laid next to the booster. Grace forgot to take him out of the car after their visit at his parents this morning. Will took the teddy bear and closed the door. He locked the car and went back to his house in Grace's room. Is somebody missing a teddy bear? He asked. Grace went out of the room and looked at her father. She saw Patches in his hand and ran towards him. Patches! She shouted. Shh, Gracie, Mommy wants to sleep, Will told her. Sorry, Daddy, Grace said. She took her teddy bear in her arms. Thank you for finding him. Don't mention it. I'd do anything to make my little girl happy. Now go to bed. You have to go to kindergarten tomorrow, he said. You found Patches? Emma asked. Will thought she was already asleep, so he was surprised to see her still awake. Yeah, Grace forgot him in the car. She always forgets stuff in the car. She smiled. Why didn't you tell me that before I searched the whole house? You told me to take a rest. I thought I didn't need to tell you. She smiled. Sassy girl. Let's sleep. He turned off the light and laid down close to Emma. Good night, honey. He kissed her cheek and they slept in a few minutes later. The alarm clock rang. Will turned it off and turned around to his still sleeping wife. He pulled his arms around her and kisses her forehead. Good morning, sleepyhead. I don't want to get up. Come on. Or, you don't want to come late to school. That's not Emma-like, is it? He smiled. I'll go into the bathroom right now so you can sleep until I'm back. He bent down and kissed her again. Thank you. She pulled the covers over again and closed her eyes. Will walked into the bathroom and he took a shower. He changed into his clothes and then went back into his bedroom. Now, out of bed! He pulled the covers away. He pulled Emma over his shoulder and carried her into the bedroom, where he lay down carefully. I do breakfast. He went out of the bathroom. There's more to the scene. There's only a little bit more to the scene. Yeah, it was a I don't even remember why I randomly wrote it into the script. I think it was just a boring episode or something. But I randomly just was like, I'm just gonna read part of this fucking fanfic that I found. And the scene wasn't meant to be written like the scene wasn't meant to be written as like oh, this is why. Okay. So in the script in Glee season 3, I think Kurt says something about his bucket list. No, Blaine says something about his bucket list and he wants to have sex with Taylor Lautner or something. And I Googled like Taylor Lautner Glee and I found this fanfic where they cast Taylor Lautner as Nicholas Chang, who is, I think, Mike Chang's younger brother from the first season of Glee, or from seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Glee, Mike Chang. And so I read I read the script of season 1, episode 1. I left in all of the typos. I left it all true to form. But the way that it ends. Oh no, that is where the scene ends. I was gonna include more, but I didn't. It just reads so. It reads so angry. Like the way that I was reading it, it just felt so angry, and I felt like it was funny to like make it seem like he was like a bad, abusive husband, because he is. A few minutes later, when Emma walked into the kitchen, the breakfast was already made. Will was preparing lunch boxes of him, his wife, and his children. Grace and David went into the kitchen. Savannah and Jackson, I want to kitchen. Good morning, David said. He sat on a chair and ate toast with the peanut butter. Today is the big day, Will, Emma said. Yeah, I hope some students want to join Glee Club. Emma took his hand. Hey, don't worry, sweetheart. You will always have found some, and I'm sure David is going to join too. Yeah, sure, but I want to be the captain, okay, Dad? Okay, but you're captain with a girl. It's always a girl and a boy. And you have to sing with me today. Okay, when and where? The teenager asked. In the first break at the schoolyard. He looked at his watch. Anyways, I think it's time to go. And it's like, what the fuck is this plot? What are we doing? Like, if you're gonna make a fanfic, at least have it be like in the same tone as original Glee. This scene would have never happened in Glee. There's a sticker on his car saying "Chess is my life." With these words, she left the conversation. Hey, shouts out ex Happy Face. Before their time. He takes Emma into the bedroom. They're already in the bedroom. Will walked into the bathroom. He changed his clothes and went back into his bedroom. Now, out of the bed. He pulled Emma over his shoulder and carried her into the bedroom, where he let her down carefully. I do breakfast. He went out of the bathroom. Oh, it's so good. I loved it so much. There's this, and then later, like much later in the script, I write a fanfic. Because I saw this TikTok. I don't even folks, the script gets crazy. Because there's this article titled Leah Michelle once let Jonathan Groff explore the world of her body. And it's this like anniversary documentary about this show they did on Broadway together way long ago. Molly's Borkin. And there's this clip from the documentary.
His vagina before, would you show me? And I was like, sure.
In particular, I was interested in like the like geography of the different parts, because I always thought that the clitoris was like right above the vagina hole.
And I took a desk lamp
And she took a fucking desk lamp.
and showed him. That's how close we are.
I didn't realize it was so far north. And now I know.
His vagina.
There's more to this clip in the thing, but the top comment is, if this were a Glee episode, they would sing Wet Ass Pussy after this. And so I mentioned that right here. And I wrote a Glee fanfic here. It's not super long. What is it? Four pages. Nothing crazy. I wrote a little thing and it's like, what is it, 900 words? And it's about the it's kind of a continuation vibes wise of the fanfic that we just watched from Blake's edit, where it's like, in this world, Artie comes in and is showing the class. He's like, hey, check out this song I heard from my favorite political commentator, and it's Ben Shapiro doing Wet Ass Pussy. And they talk shit about Ben Shapiro. And then and then we do some like, here's how racist Ben Shapiro is. And then of course Artie has his black accent of, wait, hold up, let me chickadee check that. You sure this isn't AI? And then Will comes in and he's like, today's lesson is going to be empowerment. I was watching my favorite morning YouTube series and I came across a song I'd like to show you. And he says, but I want to enlist the help of Mrs. Pillsbury if you kids don't mind. Emma walks in. She looks like she has a ton more money than she did before. Her wedding ring is noticeably absent. Emma, Will, what are you doing? I thought you said Sugar's dad accidentally bulk ordered hand sanitizer from the COVID shutdown and was handing it out. Finn, wait, Mr. Shue, why did you call her Miss Pillsbury and not Mrs. Schuster? Is there something you're not telling us? Well, you see, kids, marriage is... We got divorced. The kids all gasp. Is that why you've been showing up to school in worse and worse clothes? Will says, yes, the divorce proceedings have been quite hard on me. Emma, I tried to tell Will that we didn't need to go to court, but he insisted and Will cuts her off. Her lawyer took all of my money, which is fine because women deserve to be empowered, right? So Emma, sit right there. Will pulls out a chair to the side of the room. And please just listen to what I have to say. Guys, hit it. The camera cuts to the 7 whitest session musicians you've ever seen. One begins to pluck on an upright bass as we hear Will begin to sing, "There's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house." As he's singing, Sue walks in and nods to Will. As Sue says, I said certified freak 7 days a week. Sue and Will then rap WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion in a way that can only be described as lyrical gentrification. Artie joins in and does a Ben Shapiro impression over the lyrics. The performance ends with Sue and Artie pouring a bucket of water over Will as he wears a mop head and a faux wig. He is kneeling in front of Emma. He's wearing a mop head as a faux wig. He is kneeling in front of Emma, his eyes begging her to take him back, and his chest heaves up and down from the performance. Emma looks quickly to the kids and then back at Will. I'm sorry, I have to go. She gets up to leave but slips on the water. Will tries to catch her but is too late. She cracks her head open on the floor. Will picks her up in a kind of homage to Cersei and Joffrey in the Purple Wedding in Game of Thrones as he stares into Emma's eyes once again, though instead of begging her to take him back, he's begging the show choir gods to spare his ex-wife. We cut hard to a graveyard where there is a funeral for Emma. Everyone is there all wearing black. Noticeably absent is Will. We cut to see him standing at the road, too ashamed to confront Emma's Nazi parents after what he did to their daughter. Under his breath, Will whispers, I vow to never rap again. it isn't even music. And if you think it is, you're stupid. Which is a callback. Look at this writing. It's a callback to this earlier Ben Shapiro tweet where Ben Shapiro tweeted, "Fact, rap isn't music, and if you think it is, you're stupid." So Will's become completely black-pilled now, and he's a full Ben Shapiro fan. Lightning flashes and it begins to rain. As the thunder cracks, the camera closes in on Will's face. With each flash, it changes to the face of Ben Shapiro. I mean, that's how you write a Glee fanfic. What a this was in the Nationals episode that I wrote this. This is me in the middle of the penultimate episode of the season. I'm like, I gotta write something to zhuzh up this script. Does Santana say Ben Shapiro? Mercedes does. Yeah. The idea of doing like Glee, they're all the same age, so it's not like them as adults. It's literally just like does it? Mercedes. Oh, it's because there isn't a I'm sorry. It's because there wasn't a spot there. I just read the first name. I love the idea of like just taking Glee and instead of it being recorded in 2012, it was recorded in 2024, and like they're just talking about Ben Shapiro and Donald Trump and AI and Megan Thee Stallion. And like nothing about their characters has changed. They're all the same exact characters. But Will gets blackpilled as a victim of divorce court. Yeah, I really like that bit. I think that'll play really funny. Wait, was that that wasn't in the final episode, right? That was in the second to last episode. Yeah. Will would have them AI generate song prompts and perform them. I don't know if Will Schuester would be an AI teacher. That's a good that's a TikTok I should make. Would ex Glee character use AI? Because Artie, yes. Santana, yes. Brittany, yes, but only because she thinks it's actually like her grandma. Will Gwyneth Paltrow, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Holly Holiday would. I don't think Will would. I think Will would maybe use it as to be like, look at how bad it is. But then then his example of being good by writing like something himself is worse somehow. But Will would. What? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be really funny though. Imagine we were robbed. We were absolutely robbed. I'm going to show you something that's the saddest thing you've ever seen. The last episode aired of Glee on March 20th, 2015. Hamilton premiered in early 2015, and it opened on Broadway in August of 2015. We missed Glee X Hamilton by like 3 fucking months. And then we were just 1 year short. 1 year short of getting Glee's take on the 2016 presidential election, which of course went to Donald. You fucking know Glee would have made an episode with Hillary Clinton in 2016. And you know it would have fucking sucked. You know how I know? Because a much better show did an episode with Hillary Clinton. A much better show in Broad City did an episode with a Hillary Clinton, and it fucking sucked. It was terrible. So you know fucking Glee would have. March 16th. Hang on. The last episode of Glee was March 20th, 2015. And this was, 2016. Yeah. Can you imagine the combined power of Glee fans and Hamilton fans? Oh, it would break everything. Yeah, there's a whole 2-episode stint of Hillary Clinton on Broad City, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was only 1 episode. And then look at Alana Glazer, the GOAT. Oh my God, what a world. Things have changed. She said of the negative feelings towards the cameo now in an interview with The Independent. I mean, I did vote for Hillary Clinton. I did want Hillary Clinton to win over Donald Trump. I don't think she's a perfect, flawless person or a perfect, flawless politician. I'm not friends with her. I can't really tell you where she is for me on a spectrum of hate to dislike to like to love. Maybe somewhere in the middle as a person, but I really wanted her to win. Imagine having Hillary Clinton on your show and then afterwards being like, yeah, she sucked though. Like, right? All right, that's it. That is it. Oh, the lib power that you would get from Hamilton x Glee, I think would break the world. Which is kind of crazy because, like, obviously Jonathan Groff is in Hamilton, right? It's kind of crazy to me that, like, Leah Michele and Jonathan Groff and, like, Court Overstreet haven't gotten together to do, like, anything with Hamilton. Like, that is kind of insane. That just seems like such an easy way to farm views. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing about celebrities is they are not clip farmers. Let's see if we got any Leah Michele Hamilton clips. Josh Groban. See, like, how is there not a single thing of Leah Michele singing Hamilton? Like, that's insane. How is she not clip farming this?
Good morning. Good morning.
That's too many words.
Oh my God.
And welcome. Yes, I'm not filming you. No, I'm filming me. Good morning and welcome to the Ham for Ham show. This is Jonathan Groff, and I'm balancing this cup of coffee because this is a special morning edition of the Ham for Ham show, and my surprise guest is in my bed.
I'm not prepared.
Full ass face of makeup. Full ass face of makeup. Oh, I'm not prepared. Oh, woe is me, Leah Michele. Eyebrows immaculately, like, done. Very clearly has a full face of highlights and lowlights and, like, concealer and everything. Lip gloss on.
Say good morning, Leah.
Good morning, Leah.
That's the coffee.
God. Okay. Let me look at myself. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This
is realness. This is morning realness.
Why did no one else on this show have to do this first thing in the morning?
Because we wanted to do something different.
Okay.
She has full fucking eye makeup on. I gotta see if anybody is saying anything. Here we go. Oh my God, I'm not prepared. Oh no, my camera died again. That's all right. We'll end soon. Someone says, oh no, we're not prepared. Also, Leah appears from under the wing with impeccable mascara, brows, and glossy lips.
I want to ask you, well, first of all, you saw Hamilton last night.
Yeah, it was so good.
Second time.
I'd like to officially put in my request to play one of the Schuyler sisters.
Great. Great.
Lynn. Would be
Probably
good.
Peggy.
Okay, I'm gonna, for this ham for ham.
Jonathan made me this coffee, by the way.
Yeah, with my own 2 hands. And the Keurig machine. And the water from my sink.
Gross.
And it's good though. New York water is good. Okay, so for this ham for ham, I want to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
3 questions with Leah in bed.
And with bed.
With
head.
Head. First question is Hamilton related.
Okay.
If you had to sing any song from the show, what would you sing?
Like in the shower? Or like
I'm gonna say like
for like a performance?
you had to like do a performance for a group of 3,000 high school students in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, you have to sing a song from Hamilton. It could be a male song, it could be a female song. whatever song.
I would sing Wait For It.
Yeah,
Just because it's my favorite song.
yeah, good answer.
That's my, yeah. Or
That's a bad answer. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a good song. Why the fuck wouldn't you sing Satisfied?
I remember that night, I just might remember that night for the rest of my days. Those are the only words that I know from that song.
You've seen it twice and you don't even know you reference Satisfied. How are you going to be like, wait for it is good, and then be like, oh, and that other one, all I know is the first line of Satisfied. Oh, that pisses me off. I'm living out. I'm absolutely living out.
Totally.
And then the rest is just
Rapping.
rapping.
I know all the words to that song.
But Lynn, I'll learn it for when I audition
When
for
the
you.
time happens.
Yeah.
My second question is, what's the last thing you ate?
Well, we had like 900 Starbursts last night when we got home.
That's
Don't you
true.
remember?
Yes.
I bought you Starbursts and put them in a bowl, and you ate them last night like it was popcorn.
Yeah.
You probably had about 30, and I
Yep.
had like 4.
Yeah.
Like 3 pink, 1 red, and a yellow.
I had like a lot of yellow,
At
a
like
lot of red.
3 in the morning.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I forgot about that. I thought it was the... Yes.
I bought you Starbursts and put them in a bowl, and you ate them last night like it was popcorn.
Yeah.
You probably had about 30, and I
Yep.
had like 4.
Yeah.
Like 3 pink, 1 red, and a yellow.
I had like a lot of yellow,
At like
a lot of red.
3 in the morning.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I forgot about that. I thought it was the...
And now I want a bagel, and I'm hungry.
Okay. Okay, I just have one more question. And that is, what is your favorite part of the human face?
What are you talking about? I just woke
What is your
up.
favorite part of the human face?
These are the
I feel like that's such an
questions-
interesting question.
No one cares what I have to say about that.
I just think it's interesting. Has anyone ever asked you that?
So we should make out. People would care way more about that than what I think about the human face.
What's your favorite part of the human face?
Lips? Stop.
This has been your Ham for Ham show.
Good
luck with the
morning.
lottery.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
She's so unlikable as a celebrity. She is so unlikable. It's crazy. Who's Josh Groban?
You and your words flooded my senses. Your sentences left me defenseless. You built me.
All right, let's see if Leah Michelle was telling the truth and that the song she would sing is "Wait for It."
to the better to get your right-hand man back. Woo!
Dear Theodosia.
What do you mean, dear Theodosia? What do you mean, dear Theodosia?
What to say to you? You have my eyes. You have your mother's name. When you came into the world, you cried, and it broke my heart. I'm dedicating every day to you.
You know, maybe this was right after she had a kid or something.
Stick life.
I am not.
What a jump scare, eh? I don't know if we need to cut directly into Rainn Wilson way too close. Is nobody singing Satisfied? Are they afraid of rapping? Well, no, because we got guns and ships.
Need of a shower, somehow defeat a global superpower. How do we emerge victorious when the quagmire leaves the battlefield waving Betsy Ross's flag higher? Yo, turns out we have a secret weapon, an immigrant you know and love, who's unafraid to step in. He's constantly confusing, confounding the British henchmen. Everyone give it up for America's favorite fighting Frenchman!
Why did she go up tempo? She went up tempo and then failed to stay on tempo. Like, it's already an impossible song, nearly. Just do it in the original tempo, or if you're gonna change the tempo, make it slower. Everyone give it up for America's favorite fighting Frenchman, Lafayette. Like, and then she went, everybody give it up for
Lafayette, yo, I'm taking his horse by the reins, making red coats red with blood stains, Lafayette, and I'm never gonna stop until I make a drop and burn up scatter remains out, Lafayette. Watch me escaping them, enraging them, engaging them. Ow! I go to France for more funds. I come back with more guns and ships, and so the balance shifts. We rendezvous with Rochambeau, consolidate their gifts. We can end this war in Yorktown, cut them off at sea, but for this to succeed, there's someone else we need. I know Hamilton, so he knows what to do in the trench, and he knew the fluent French. I mean Hamilton, so you're gonna.
That's not very good. Sorry, Yale Grobglis. I don't know who you are. Uh-oh, Justin Baldoni. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ham for all challenge. I'm addicted to the ham for all challenge.
Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, you have your mother's name. When you came into the world, you cried, and it broke my heart.
Kristen Bell is like she gives off the same unlikability as Leah Michele, but Kristen Bell is very clearly just like Arizona white trash. And so it loops back around to me liking Kristen Bell again. But I feel like her and Leah Michele are kind of two sides of the same coin.
I'm dedicating every day to you.
I gotta see my boy Ben Schwartz.
Hey, do it. Do it now.
Well, the world got around, they said this kid is insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence you came. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated, exacerbated by the fact that my syntax is highly complicated, cause I emigrated from the single greatest little place in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. I love it, Jesus, I'm jealous of it, and beyond that, ever since my folks passed on, I haven't gone back. God damn, I gotta get on that. There's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. What's your name, man?
Finally, somebody has the stones to sing Satisfied. That was good. I mean, I can't tell. I haven't seen In the Heights, but isn't In the Heights about Puerto Ricans? Or is it about Dominicans? I couldn't tell if that was a piece from In the Heights, or if it was a piece from like original Hamilton, like where he was rapping about being. Oh, it is Dominican. Okay, how about that? That must have been from In the Heights then.
A toast to the groom. to the bride from your sister who is always by your side, to your union and the hope that you provide. May you always be satisfied. Rewind. I remember that night, I just might. I remember that night, I just might. I remember that night, I remember that.
Times pain. Some men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution? I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
This is how you do a silly, goofy one. We just need Glee in Hamilton. Something needs to happen for it to happen, you know? How Glee would do Hamilton, no one asked, but we need it. This has 111 views. This video is either going to be awesome or terrible. Why does Lin-Manuel always look like he... like, why is this like
Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to my channel.
Why does he always look like a wet cat? Like, what is he doing? He's such an awkward guy.
My name is Alyssa. If you're new here, hello. Today, we are going to be doing something really exciting and different. If you couldn't already tell by the title, I have been wanting to do this video for some time, but I have strong opinions when it comes to Glee, and I love Glee, and since then I have rewatched some seasons as well, so it made it even more fresher in my mind, and now I am ready finally to discuss with you, if Glee was still on, how would they do Hamilton? I want to do a disclaimer before I get into it. This is not like a Hamilton episode, okay? I just think that that's too restricting in terms of like my ideas when I was thinking about who would sing what song and in what context it would be used, because Glee does that thing where, yeah, some episodes are dedicated to a specific artist or a musical or a play, and it's really about them auditioning or performing it, but they always seem to weave their way into this realm of using the songs that make sense with what's happening in the plot. And that's what I leans into. There are some instances that could be, you know, they're auditioning to play Hamilton, you know what I mean? But a lot of them are just like where in the already existing plot I would see Hamilton songs being used, or just who would sing it, or just different things related to Hamilton and Glee. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming and watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you do end up liking it, and give me some other ideas for Glee if it was still on. I'm thinking of making it a series. So the first thing that I would like to discuss is the fact that Sue Sylvester absolutely would sing King George or be the King George of Hamilton.
Okay. I think that's probably correct, because I think the Glee showrunners are bad at making decisions. However, I'll say this. It would be so fucking funny if they had Jesse St. James come back, head the coach of Vocal Adrenaline, so he's kind of already the bad guy, and come in and do and like have him play King George, but like, I mean, you could play with it and like maybe he does it poorly, or like you could put a twist on it, but I don't even think you need to. I think you just have Jonathan Groff play King George, because like you already have the joke of like Hamilton exists, which means which means Jonathan Groff playing King George exists. And so in universe, it would be kind of crazy seeing Jesse St. James, who looks exactly like Jonathan Groff, get the role. And like, there would be fun to have with that. But I see also why it would go Sue for the obvious, like, she's the bad guy, right?
I can just think of her like spying on the Glee Club and thinking about how, ooh, they're doomed, like my evil will rain down on them. And I think of that meme where Sue is saying, I will create an environment so toxic. She is absolutely King George. She would ruin everything. And I think it would also be really funny if Sue like dressed up in the costume. So the next thing that I thought of is the song Dear Theodosia. Now in the play,
Am I wrong? I do not give a fuck about the song Dear Theodosia, and it seems like so many people love Dear Theodosia. I guess I'm wrong for that, but I just don't give a shit about it. Like that arc of Burr's character, I didn't really care about.
it is Aaron Burr singing, and then it's also Hamilton singing to his kid. So they're both singing to their kids, right? And so I thought...
Specifically, they're singing to their infant children and what they want for their future.
Would be interesting would be Finn and Puck singing it to Quinn's baby, because Finn thinks it's his and Puck knows it's his. So like...
So this is going back to season 1 plotline before we know who the baby is. That would be really good. Like if you're straight up taking season 1 plotline and saying we're going to put Hamilton songs in it, Dear Theodosia would be awesome to have Puck singing to the child. They're both singing to the same child, but they have different visions of what they want the kid to be, and they both think / know that it's theirs. That's actually really good.
When Finn is singing to the ultrasound and he's singing I'll Stand By You, instead he's singing Dear Theodosia. And then when Puck is talking to Quinn about how the baby is his, maybe they would just like split screen, have him singing Dear Theodosia. Or just scenes with Puck and the baby. I think I found a performance of them singing Beth when Puck and the boys sing Beth to everyone and to Quinn. That could be a good split screen too. But I just think that would be super interesting. So the next thing is the first thing I thought of was Sue being King George. But the second thing that I immediately thought of is Say No to This.
I think if you want to have fun with Dear Theodosia, I think you could do like, because obviously Sue has a baby eventually in the series. I think you could have fun with Sue singing and then also like Santana. And I think you could write in like Santana and Brittany having a kid and like adopting. Or if you wanted to do like double queer couples, have like a Blaine and Kurt singing to a kid and then a Santana and Brittany singing to a kid. You know, like something like that. I think that would work as well too.
Okay, we absolutely know how Glee would do this, okay? Obviously, it would be like Mr. Shoe or something because he would absolutely butcher it or whatever. But I took it one step further and I said, okay, do we all remember Like a Virgin? Obviously, it would be different, right? Like a Virgin is when we have the 3 different couples and 3 of them are losing their virginities, obviously. So it was like Will and Emma, Rachel and Jesse, and then Finn and Santana, right? But for a Say No to This, hear me out, it would be 3 different couples but like cheating. So my thoughts were definitely Mr. Shoe with somebody. He would definitely cheat with like Shelby, or Holly Holiday would be a good Reynolds. And then I was thinking Jake from season 4 cheating on Marley with Kitty.
Spoilers!
Absolutely, that would happen. So if it is in season 4, maybe Rachel is like thinking that she's cheating on Finn with Brody or something, or maybe it's Finn cheating on Rachel while he's back home and she's away. But if it's like before season 4, then he could be cheating with maybe like Santana or something. I feel like Santana would be really good Reynolds too. But yeah, so that was my idea for Say No to This. I think that the 3 couples like all singing would be really, really good. Okay.
I mean, that one you could put on any character, right? You can make any character get into a situation where they would need to put out a statement being like, yeah, I cheated on you, but here's why I'm proud about it. And I think she was kind of forgetting about the whole point of the Reynolds pamphlet, which is Hamilton kind of being like, yeah, I cheated, but I'm not a fucking piece of shit. I did it because I needed to. But I would never waste taxpayer dollars while cheating. Like there's like the element of it to be like, yeah, but I did cheating the right way, sir. I cheated, but I did it morally and ethically. And to me, that's very Artie coded. I think Artie could do like Reynolds pamphlet vibes.
So my next thing is for the song Alexander Hamilton, okay? Mr. Shu would absolutely sing this song.
Yeah.
Here's my vision, okay? We know he always wanted to be on Broadway, right? And he might be grappling with the idea that that dream is gone. He finds out that April Rhodes has her own Broadway show, and he's like, what the heck? I think that actually did happen in the show where he was like, I want to be on Broadway, and she was like, well, you can, and he's like all conflicted. So what he would do is go to April's practice or something. Like she would bring him into the theater where she's putting on her production of whatever it is, right? And then she's like talking to him, they have like a talk or whatever, and he's like,
I can't leave the kids and blah 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 blah.
And she's like,
the kids will always be there, there'll always be new kids. Broadway, it's once in a lifetime.
And she's like, let me give you a moment, and she leaves, right? And he would like go up on stage and all of the lights would be out and then there would be a spotlight in the middle and then he would go up into the spotlight and sing Alexander Hamilton. And then he goes into like a dance number by himself and sings it on the stage and all the lights come on and blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, that's exactly how it would happen. And you know it. So we're gonna talk about Satisfied. And
I don't argue with the Mr. Shu one at all. I think that makes sense. He would definitely be the guy who's like, we're doing Hamilton week, and all the kids, like Blaine would be like, oh, I do a good Alexander Hamilton, and Mr. Shu would be like, I'm singing the intro song that everybody knows.
And this has been a really tricky one for me. I think that if the Glee cast was going to be putting on Hamilton, then they would absolutely be really creative with doing that scene.
What do you mean? Why would you assume that the Glee TV show would be creative? If they did a Hamilton episode, this would be Santana. There'd be no creativeness about it. Santana would be Angelica Schuyler, straight up. And I don't even think that's a bad choice. That's what they would do. That's not creative. Who is a character who embodies the idea of they will never be satisfied because they constantly like think too logically or like don't allow themselves to get pleasure because they're like cynical about it almost too. I mean, this could be a Puck song. I could see this being a Noah Puckerman song.
But I chose to do it more in terms of the singing and not the coolness of the production. And I figured that this would be the perfect song for a diva off. Rachel would absolutely think that she is Angelica. Rachel, you're not Angelica. You are absolutely Eliza.
Okay. I thought she was going to say you're Peggy, but Rachel is definitely Eliza.
She does have a great voice, and she would sing Satisfied beautifully. But she's not Angelica. So she would be like, I'm Angelica. And then I think that she would either do a diva off against Mercedes or Santana. I know they never did a diva off between Rachel and Santana. However, I feel like Santana would be such a good Angelica in her voice. Santana's my favorite character. If this were a diva off like in the choir room, it would definitely be her versus Mercedes. And Mercedes would win, okay, in my Glee episode. If it was in season 4 and later, I think that it would be between her and Santana kind of in the college era. And I kind of think of when Santana went and sang...
Spoilers!
Holy Trinity of Quinn, Santana, and Brittany would absolutely sing Skylar Sisters.
Yeah, that one. But who else is gonna sing Skylar Sisters? Mercedes wins in all my headcanons. Hey, she wins in performance as well. Skylar Sisters, I don't know how you could do anything other than the Unholy Trilogy. Like, you could try to do some fuck shit with, like, I don't know. I don't know how you do anything other than those three.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Can you imagine the three of them being like, when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'm gonna have him put woman in the sequel or whatever it is? So good.
Wait, alternative. It's Sue, Emma, and Roz Washington. That would actually go kind of crazy if they did the Skylar Sisters and they had Emma be Peggy, and then Angelica would be Sue, and then Roz would be Eliza. That would actually go kind of crazy.
But the song Wait For It, I don't think that, see, this is why I had trouble thinking.
This is a Finn song. If she says anything other than Finn for Wait, like, Aaron Burr's character and Finn's character are so similar in that they're both like chicken shits.
Of like a Hamilton episode, or the cast is putting on Hamilton at the school, because I don't think that Finn would be Aaron Burr, but he would sing Wait For It.
Thank
I
you.
think of all of those instances where he has an identity crisis, specifically when he's like, what am I doing after college? And I think of those times when he goes onto the stage and he like sings like a belty song just to like get his feelings. I feel like it was like at the very beginning. Or I think the scene I chose for this is the Losing My Religion one, but he just looks so mad and he's like walking down the school hallways. I don't know. I just feel like he would sing Wait For It, and it's the perfect song for him. I can imagine Finn being like, I am the one thing in life I can't control. Okay. Another thing that is absolutely obvious to me is the 10 Dual Commandments.
Really? This one's obvious to you? I mean, Puck, I guess. Like, the obvious pick would be Puck because he's the jock, and like a Puck and Sam duet for 10 Dual Commandments would actually go crazy. Oh, is she even gonna get to the cabinet battles?
Okay, and this is something that would really have to be season 4, obviously, because it obviously has to be between Jake and Ryder, and I think it
No
would
spoilers.
say no to this kind of like Eliza did. But I also think that Philippa Sue sings it. Rachel would absolutely do that. She'd be like, narrative, it's perfect. I love it. For Burn, Rachel would absolutely sing Burn.
Yeah, Burn is such a Rachel song, straight up. Any song where it requires the main actress to cry at the end or during. It's like, well, Leah Michelle, get in there. It's your time to cry for the 50th time during a performance on Glee.
But it's specifically the line, oh, what is it? Like I'm removing myself from the narrative, but the way that Eliza sings, the way that Philippa Sue sings it. Rachel would absolutely do that. She'd be like, I'm removing myself from the narrative. Maybe after she finds out that Finn cheated, after Say No to This, kind of like Eliza did. But I also think that Marley would sing it. I feel like she would also be a pretty good Eliza.
Spoilers.
The room where it happened is one where I was like, this would be iconic if they were putting on Hamilton. I was also thinking it just really needs to be a basic big dance number. Honestly,
It's got to be Mike Chang.
my first thought was Vocal Adrenaline doing it
Oh.
at like a competition. Maybe it's so big and they find out that Lin-Manuel Miranda is gonna be a like judge or something, or like Sue finds
Wait,
that out.
the only song you know is Room Where It Happened from Hamilton. Listen, if you want to live out and you want to like feel optimism, watch Hamilton. It's a good fucking
You don't even know what you're asking me to confess. You have nothing, I don't have to tell you anything at all. Unless
If I can prove that I never touched my balls, will you promise not to tell another soul what you saw? No one else was in the room where it happened. Is that a yes? You just touched your ball.
Or after Mr. Shoe has his like epiphany and he sings Alexander Hamilton, he like realizes like
maybe my dream isn't what I need. I'm thinking about my kids and how it's their dream to be on Broadway, and that can be just as fulfilling for me. And I need to tell them to follow their dreams, blah, 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 because they can still happen.
So he goes back to Glee Club and he tells them about his experience. And then he said, like, when I was singing Alexander Hamilton, I realized that, like, this is the room where you become stars and where you can achieve your dreams. And then they sing The Room Where It Happens because that makes sense. And they do one of those choir room, everybody gets up and dance together. The first thing that comes to my mind is when they sing Ice Ice Baby. I know that is completely different. But kind of that thing.
No, she's fucking cooking here. She's cooking so hard.
Where Will leads it and everybody joins in and sings with him and stuff. So I feel like that would be really good. So remember when we talked about Rachel being Eliza? Yeah, she would definitely want to sing Helpless. But I feel like that's too easy. And I wanted to incorporate some other characters. So the other thing that came to my mind, and this is super awkward, but remember when Tina was in love with Blaine?
Spoilers! Tina would be really good for Helpless, but I don't want the spoilers.
Because it's like kind of rappy and it's weird, and obviously he's gonna do that. But I had a different direction for my shot. And I think that this one's more interesting. I think that Mike Chang would sing My Shot. Remember when he wants to go to dance school and his dad is like, no, you're... Hey YouTube, what?
All right, we're going to watch one last... We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we are going to watch her... We're going to look at her final tier list. This is ranking all songs from Hamilton. This is her video with... One of her videos with the most views. 5.7 thousand views. We're going to check out the final tier list.
What your favorite songs are. Please tell me who your... Please go watch the show. Leslie.
All right. In Irrelevant, we've got Blow Us All Away, The Addams Administration. How are you going to put Hurricane in... Oh, my camera just died again. That's fine. How are you going to put Hurricane in Irrelevant? It gives us the greatest line of, in the eyes of a hurricane, there is quiet. For just a moment. Take a break. I am on my way. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these songs are just really short. I just don't know how you put Hurricane down here. In the He Needs Some Milk tier, we got A Winter's Ball. Whoa. Whoa. You're going to put Farmer Refuted this low? I love Farmer Refuted. It's one of my favorite songs. Stay Alive and Stay Alive Reprise are all here. That's fair. I don't really like those that much. Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us is such a good song. I know it's super short, but I love that. The Story of Tonight Reprise as well. Like I love these songs. I love when it's the three guys just drinking in a pub and singing about how happy they are. And 10 Dual Commandments all the way down here, which is crazy. Lynn Can Write. Say No to This. That Would Be Enough. I don't like That Would Be Enough that much. Dear Theodosia, bleh. Your Obedient Servant. That's kind of a fun cunty song. So that's fun. Yorktown, My Shot. You're going to put My Shot this low? History Has Its Eyes on You. This has got to go higher. This is the closing song. This is such a good song. Burn. I would put Burn lower. I don't really like Burn. The World Was Wide Enough. Yeah, it's fine. Better Than Sex tier. We can't see the whole tier. Or can we? Hee hoy, hee. All I read is hee hoy, like the fucking SpongeBob episode. History Has Its Eyes on You needs to be yes. I agree. I love that song. And Better Than Sex, we have... I'm just trying to see if she ever moves her camera or if she's always up there. Right Hand Man, I Know Him is Better Than Sex. What Come Next and You'll Be Back? Oh, she just loves Jonathan Groff. Helpless. Helpless is really good, but in my opinion, it's only so good because it's paired with Satisfied. Washington on Your Side, I do love that song. The Election of 1800, that's also good. Alexander Hamilton, yeah, that needs to be high up. Reynolds Pamphlet, Skylar. These are all good. I like all these in Better Than Sex. Except for maybe the Groff stuff. I don't need all of them up there. Should be in everyone's top 3 and there's 6 songs. How are you going to have 6 songs in everyone's top 3? One Last Time. I don't think that's a top 3. I wouldn't put that in top 3. Nonstop. I don't think that's a top 3. Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story. Yeah, that's good. That's a good top 3 here. The Room Where It Happens. I don't need that to be in my top 3. Satisfied. Got to be in the top 3. Wait for it. Wait for it. I am the one thing in life I can. I don't know if I need that in top 3. If I had to go top 3 personally, I would go Satisfied. I would go Alexander Hamilton. Because, I mean, what a fucking iconic song. And fuck, I might go Aaron Burr, sir. Wait, where's Aaron Burr, sir, at? It must be in the Better Than Sex tier. There must be songs behind her. Aaron Burr, sir, is a GOAT song. The wordplay in it is so fun. Does she do it in order? Where the hell is Aaron Burr, sir? Pardon me. Are you Aaron Burr, sir? Well, it depends who's asking. Oh, well, sure, sir. I'm Alexander Hamilton. I'm at your service, sir. I have been looking for you. I'm getting nervous. Sir, I wanted to do what you do, graduating too. I mean, what a good song. It introduces you to Lawrence and Burr and Hercules Mulligan. I mean, how can you hate it? All right, folks, I forgot I don't have my camera on, so when I go full, it's going to be crazy. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. I will be back next Wednesday. Probably not talking for so long about Hamilton, but you'll never know. I guess you'll have to tune in